Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not
Grand
relevant.
jury.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy
They
there.
got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
Alex stole it as well.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case.
Is that correct?
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
Literally not true.
Oh, for Trump's sake.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Good to have you all here. Bright, shining faces. I see you all out there. Wonderful. Good to see everybody. Let's see, why are you seeing that, though? That's not what you need to see. You need to see this. There we go. All right. We are professionals, if I can steal from one of the pillars of LawTube. Good morning. Good morning. By the way, who was that? Ricky C. You timed the hello message perfectly. It said hello while it was saying hello in my recording. That was amazing. Heathens behave. You've been warned. You've been warned by Tumwater Troy. And quite frankly, I can share this with you. As a mod, he has put up with so much over the last couple hours. He's just not going to take it anymore. He's just it was trial by fire. Jumped in on the deep end. And it's just been brutal. And he's just like, I have zero patience anymore for y'all. Just kidding. Troy, welcome. Welcome to day 2 of being a mod. So I'm just kidding. He's put up with more mods than he's put up with viewers. All right. He fits right in. No, we love him. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Especially, look at this. 80s music, man. First in chat. 80s, congratulations, my friend. You've been here a long time. You are, in fact, an OG on the channel. Wouldn't be the same without you. But way back in the day, 80s job was not to open the door and turn on the lights and to train the dancers and do rehearsals and everything. It was not that. Nor was it his job to sneak through chat like a ninja. He ran our bleep button. Beep. He would beep out the bad words for us. You remember those days? I do. It was wonderful. All right, welcome, 80s. Congratulations. We love that you're here. It would not be the same without you here. And because you're here and here first, we're going to punish you. Everything IP related worldwide is your responsibility. Congratulations and good riddance. Glad to get that off my desk and onto yours. Let's see. To-do list. Put chat on screen. Okay, there we go. Say hi. Hi. Recognize first in chat. Done. Birthdays and court. Troy, you are doing so well. You are doing so well. I would just like to make one tiny modification to that, and that is this.
Mike. What day is it, Mike? Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day! Welcome to Wednesday. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I aimed for the moon. I shot high. I missed. And I cut my losses. It's hump day. It was the worst one ever. Troy, I'm going to blame you because it was not on the list. I didn't have time to prepare. I was using your checklist, and there was no preparation. So Troy, this goes a black mark on your history. Bad. Hump day. What was that? You botched it. It was terrible. It was terrible. Let me tell you the truth. Last night, this is more medical information than you need.
Take a short break.
You might need to. Sometimes when I snore, you know that little dangly bit in your throat? It just doesn't like it. It's the part that wobbles around when you're snoring. Yeah, last night I was very tired and I slept through snoring a ton. And so that little bit, it was just like a punching bag, like a boxer's punching bag all night. Pam, 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 pam. So this morning I woke up and it's like this big. And it's fine. Like many people have told me, I've got a big mouth, I can handle that. But it's sorry. I have to breathe too. And the breathing there wasn't room for. And so I'm sort of saving my voice, so a little bit. It crashed just in time to miss the Yelp. Red, you missed it. It was wonderful. It was amazing. 10 out of 10. Greetings to you. Tell me what
You wear multiple hats, sir.
Excuses. All right. Hopefully all y'all did the hump day yell. Congratulations. We are halfway through the work week. It's Friday in 2 days. It's not Friday now. It's Friday in 2 days. And let's just say the yell buffered. I'll clip it out and post. That's all right. Maybe that's what killed the internet. It was bad. Welcome. A couple things we're doing today as we're getting set for the KFD trial next week. I realize there's still a big trial going on with the Clancy trial, and I've taken a lot of criticism over that, and that's okay. I can handle that. That was a decision I made for my mental health and more than anything else, not to cover that case. It sure wasn't for my my financial health, but it's a decision that I stand by, and it's cool. I realize we've got a lot of people over there. That's great. I can't wait. When that trial comes over, they'll be back. Don't worry about it. It's all good. So let's see. We have some birthdays. Let's see. We've got Maisla, Phil G, and the Recovery Addict channel. Look at that. Yes, if you wondered what cases we covered the first 4 years on this channel, 4.5, well, 3.5, I guess is what it would be. Wonder no more. We didn't. I just started the channel 7 years ago as a metal detecting channel. If you go back far enough, you can find them. You can find me out swinging and beeping in my local parks and all over the place. But we didn't start covering cases until 3 years 10 months ago or something like that. 3 years and 10 months ago. So we'll sing happy birthday to the channel after I get just a little bit of water. We have post-production.
Happy birthday. You look good.
I have access to post-production in YouTube Studio as long as I keep the live streams at 6 hours or under, which is crucial for when we get like things like yesterday where some podcast out of Ukraine copyright claims my Tommy Rudolph, what was his name? Tommy, video from years ago, because they used part of it in their podcast. And so instead of fighting them and giving them all my access so they can sue me if they want to, I just clip it out. It's like 3 seconds. I'm like, no one's going to miss those 3 seconds on my channel. Plus, no one's watched it in like months. So anyway, that's where we are. So we do have post. Let's sing happy birthday, because it's a special one. It's the channel's birthday. Yay, that's us. All of us. All right. Everyone, wherever you are, if you're able and it's legal, stand up, take a breath, shoulders back, project your voice to the back of the room, blend your voice with your neighbor, and warm up with me if you will. La 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 la. Got it. The hump day yell did no damage. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Maisla, Phil G, and the Recovery Addict channel. Happy birthday to you. Maisla, Phil G, and yes, the Recovery Addict channel. Happy birthday. There are many wonderful days, but today's your special day. And I realize there are a billion places you could be and a billion people you could celebrate with. You chose to be right here with us. The privilege, pleasure, the honor, the joy, that's ours. Hopefully we can turn that joy right back to you. Make your day just a little more special. Begin by helping yourself to free pancakes at Denny's, IHOP Village, and Waffle House, McDonald's, Dunlop's House, Andy's Grill, and Bob Evans, and Cracker Barrel. Put an extra "and" in there, sorry. Whew, all right. There we go. We have a couple messages here to share. Mindy FS, welcome to the gallery. Thank you very much, Mindy. Appreciate your support. Old Time Gamer says, happy birthday, Recovery Addict channel. 7 years young. 7 years young. In another 6 years, I'll be old enough to have a YouTube channel if I was a person, if the channel was a person. So, and let me, because there's just a few of us here, let me share just a little bit about YouTube, because I was up late at night worried about what was going on. Because, as many of you know, we'll let the music finish. Hang on. We're gonna start the YouTube rants. We'll start that. I'm just gonna leave that on the screen for a minute so I don't forget. Then we'll be picking up the most silly case ever in closings. 2 more verses. Here we go. Here we go. Drum solo. Everyone help me on this one. Ready? You guys notice that I put my bass drum where the snare should be, but I can tap my feet, but you guys just won't see me playing the drum, so I have to shift the air drum set around. Let's see, jamming. Thanks for the jamming, Debar. Thank you very much. Let me see if I can put it on screen and still go back to Greener's comment. YouTube rants. Thank you very much for that. Love the cats. Greeners says hashtag YouTube rant right there. Okay. Y'all know, no, it went away. I just need to stop clicking on things is the problem. Y'all know that, that all of us collectively have wanted one thing from YouTube in all these years. There have been many things, but there's one universal want that we collectively as a world, as a people, as a viewing public, have cried out for to the tubes of you and begged for the upgrade and begged for the fix, the hot fix, the patch. And that is just to have notifications work. We just want to know when the channel we say we want to watch goes live. That's it. That's all. YouTube, in their infinite wisdom, has made an update. Just came out. The news just came out. It's all over our creator pages right now. It puts a big thing on the screen to get our attention. They've made this update. Having listened to all the feedback, having processed and analyzed and basically done all the homework on that, I made it go away again. Dang it. I just need to pin it. YouTube has responded finally and has decided to change the way they're paying creators. Yes, that rose to the top of the list of the next on the fix-it problem for them. They're going to change how they're paying creators. And in order to build the channel, to make to the platform, to make it bigger, to invite more voices in, to get more representation for little niches around the world and fabulous creators who are just getting their feet wet, they've decided to make it twice as hard to reach the YouTube partner platform agreement and punish you if you don't maintain that status going forward. Now, I have to say, I'm good. I like, of all the groups that got like zapped, like Zeus on a bad day with a lightning bolt, just like zapping little ants on the ground. Yeah, of all the groups that got zapped, I did not. On a good day, on a busy trial, we can have 15,000, 20,000 watch hours in a day, which is a lot of watch hours. And you only need to have now 8,000 watch hours in a year, as well as some subscriber limits as well to get monetized. But those poor people who built their YouTube empire on shorts videos, now instead of having to have 1 million views or something on a video in the last 30 days to get in the program and then you're in, now you need to have 10 million views over the last 3 months. And if at any time you fall below that metric, you're out. You're out. And you have to do it all over again. So, my apologies to anyone who wanted to start a YouTube channel but hadn't yet. it's going to get a lot harder because that early grind, when you just begin, is it's like soul-crushingly difficult and slow. I know this from the metal detecting days. When we started doing courts, it took us 4 days to get monetized. We were an exception. Like there are so many zeros in front of the 0.1 that we represent for this channel of how fast we got monetized that it's not even funny. It doesn't happen like it happened with us here. But for everybody else, and I'm talking about my wife who's put in hours and years into her channel trying to get to the 4,000 benchmark, they just extended the goalposts twice as far. And it's depressing for a lot of people. But having said all that, YouTube, I love you. It's still what I feel the best platform for what we do. It's better than Twitch. It's better than X. It's better than Facebook. It's better than all the other platforms for what we do and how we do it. So still very grateful to be on YouTube and have this. If, for some reason, you're in that category of people who are just getting started on YouTube and just got the rug pulled out from under you, so to speak, with the change of the goals and the metrics, and it seems it's never possible, give me a call, talk to me. There are things you can do on your channel that can get you started and get actually even revenue flowing before you, or even if you never reach the YouTube Partner Program platform level. So anyway, that's out there. I just wanted to put that out there. The big channels aren't phased. They aren't phased. And by big channels, I mean anybody who's got probably over 50,000 subscribers is fine. As long as their subscribers are long form. It's the people who have even millions of subscribers on shorts that are going to be affected. And I think in the long run, it's going to drive a lot of the quality content creators away and increase the amount of AI spam stuff in the shorts, because the effort is so low that you can just dump content in there and reach those metrics without having the quality for very little cost. And whereas to reach those metrics with quality video, it's difficult. But there are some secrets. I mean, I've learned a ton. I've learned a ton on about YouTube for over these years, and there are some things you can do that I've recognized in the market when it seems to be surrounded by people who can click a button on Grok or Claude or what's the other one, Chat GPT or something else, and just dump out just a junky video that looks cool at initial first glance, but it's sort of there's nothing there. It's like eating one of those water crackers. There's just nothing there. Anyway, there are ways you can really connect to people and grow quickly, and I'm seeing channels that are doing it that are booming very fast, and are getting, in their first month of posting videos, getting those 10,000 views per video. So anyway, that's my rant. YouTube rant is over. And by the way, I just have to say that I was late this morning because of Greeners. The Hump Day Yell, that's Tumblr Troy's fault, but Greeners is why I was late. I was actually chatting with him about it. Not for the full 5 minutes. I think I was late before he started talking to me, but that's what it was. Okay. They finally gave me my Ask a Member channel show on main menu on Apple TV. Ooh, that's cool. If it was not for shorts, my channel would have turned into a relic. It revived me. 80s, hey, it's cool. I love that it's working, and if you can get it to work, that is awesome. Another YouTuber I watched got his channel hacked and hasn't been able to get a hold of YouTube to get help back. They're so frustrating. Winter Sky, it terrifies me. I am just give you a background. I got my degree in communications electronic media, so this stuff, right? Video, TV production, live event coverage, that's my jam. But my career was spent in IT with the Department of Defense, and we're talking the toppest level, the toppest level, the highest levels of security, top secret SCI. You can't get any higher clearance than what was needed for my job unless you were a member of Congress on the the war committee or whatever it was. it's the big leagues. And so I got to see a lot of threats. I got to see a lot of trainings about different types of threats that are out there and how they work. And so I'm paranoid about my safety here. And I know this sounds like we're about to go into like a NordVPN advertisement. We're not. In fact, the opposite is true. I have not taken any sponsorships ever on this channel. We have never had a brand come in and say, I'll pay you to do this, and I make it a bit for them. Because that is the way that almost every YouTube channel that gets hacked, and they fall for an offer that isn't real. And they look so good. They look so real, and it looks like companies are just waiting to throw money. They're like, we just want people to hear about our product, and we'll send you free product, and some of them will send you product, and it still is a scam. And they'll steal your channel, and it'll be gone. So I've just been very, very careful about that for that reason. Anyway, I don't know why the counter isn't working. Supposed to work, but I did change around my network last night, and that's probably something I shouldn't. All right, topest is a word. Is it? It's a word now. Top pest. Oh. Let's see. I keep having my son make changes to the counter because of API issues, which is like the computers talking to computers that make this happen. And my changes keep breaking it. So he's frustrated with me, I think, because I keep having to change his program. So this one's on me. Let's see. Greeners was just doing an ad for your sponsorship. All right, let's go to court, shall we? We've had a little bit of talk this morning. Unless you want to keep talking about IT and threats and how you can actually start channels. Let me give this a little bit away, okay? Most of you know that when I went to school for electronic media, when I got my degree in video production and live television, I hated the thought of being on camera, and I did everything I could to always be behind the scenes. Greeners has video of me being on camera, and it's terrible. I'm like, eat your heart out, Bing. It was the worst. It was terrible. I dreaded every moment of it. I felt awkward. I hated the way I looked, the way I sounded, and what I said. So pretty much it was all bad. But in this day of AI just going nuts, on like everywhere you turn, AI is taking jobs. AI is creating channels. You can't go through shorts and make scroll through 5 videos and not have one of them be AI. Now it's terrible. And he's like, I don't want this crap in my video. People, like viewers, like you and me, love authenticity. So I would recommend that if you are getting into YouTube, do something that is authentically you. Do something that is real, and it can be raw, and it can be rough, and it can be sort of unpolished. People want that. They want to feel, now I'm watching a real person. Now I'm connecting with someone who actually does what I'm interested in, and not just somebody who's Googled something and plugged it into chat and it's created a video of, hey, this is someone fishing. And, it's a guy holding up a great white shark on the end of a fishing pole. It's like, that never happened. That never happened. It's fake. You can tell because the shark's smiling and winking at you. But, greeters. Phrasing. I do terrible at that. I keep saying things and then hearing how it sounds in my ears, and I'm sorry. I'm not trying to do some sort of double entendre. All right. Anyway, I just had news this morning of a channel of a kid that's just doing a hobby he loves and wearing a chest mounted, like his phone. He just mounts it to his chest and films, and he doesn't cut. He doesn't splice. He doesn't read a script. He doesn't, take 2, take 3. He does this hobby that he enjoys, and he just talks about it. And he's not like saying the same thing over and over. There's always a little bit of dialogue going on, but you're just experiencing it with him and seeing it and hearing it. There's a good quality video, good quality audio, and his channel's blowing up. And he's like, I just got monetized. It's my first month, and I don't know what I was doing right. I was just bringing you along, and that stuff works. So That works, and that's it. Okay. You're here for court, though. How can I search for your YouTube streams by state? It can't happen. Don't know. There's no way. There's no way for it to happen unless Greeners shares his tool that he made. Do you have it on here, Greeners? Greeners sent me a link to something that he crafted that analyzed the whole. It might be on our website. You'll share. Okay. It basically took the whole website, every video, analyzed it, broke it down by state, and you can click on it and search everything. And on the website you can as well. So Top Mark Media, if it's there. I know Amber's been working on that. Greeners had a little different avenue through there, but maybe we can join the two and ne'er shall the twain be parted, or something like that. Binge watch Recovery Addict. Yeah, we'll see if we can incorporate that to the website. All right, you guys are ready for a little bit of court hopping? Midweek court hopping. We've got a sister v. sister case, which is basically like a family fight that got taken to the courts, and it was a sister fight. It was 2 minutes long. One person skinned their knee, got a scratch on their forehead, and bruised their calf. The other person says none of that happened. And so we're taking it to the courts to let them decide, let the judge, weigh in on this and tell us what really matters. So let's jump down there.
Okay, thank you for your patience. We are also running a landlord-tenant docket scheduled for today, so there may be some interruptions, but we're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible.
I'm going to take
them deliberation. So I think we have another witness. You can call your next witness.
The defense calls Mr. Officer Fox.
The counter's working now. The sister that's charged with this aggravated assault or a similar charge is the one in the maroon sort of tank top, not tank top, like a T-shirt. That's what I meant for. There in the courtroom there on the front. She was moved out of the house. The other sister that was the victim lived in the house. There are 10 kids altogether in the family. Not sure how many live at home, but this sister obviously had moved out. The sister who was the victim had made an allegation that this witness or this defendant's ex had essayed her. We don't know the details of that, nor do we want to, but that was there, and that apparently was the impetus for the animosity between the two. And when the defendant showed up, which we saw on Ring camera yesterday, at the door with another friend, the door was opened by the victim, and they just went full battle mode and swinging and clawing and screaming and yelling. And none of it was caught on camera other than what happened outside the door. But it sure looks like she showed up with a vengeance and tore the screen door open and ran inside. She says once she went inside, she was very polite and like, "Oh, I love you, sister. It's been so long." And her other sister, and the victim, was just like flipping out. And then she left. I'm not believing the defendant. The judge seems to be leaning towards the defendant's side.
Ms. Swear affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
We'll see what the cops say.
You can have a seat. Okay, state your first and last name and spell both.
Mark, M-A-R-C, Fox, F-O-X.
Mr. Fox, what do you do?
I'm a police officer for Lansing Police Department.
What do you do?
And were you working on the morning of June 13th of 2025?
No.
Okay. What about on the morning of June 14th, 2025? In the wee hours.
Yeah, I need to be more specific on the time frame. I work midnights. So.
Okay. So around almost 1 o'clock in the morning of June 14th.
Probably.
Okay. And did you respond
he doesn't remember.
To an address on Hazel Street?
I did.
Okay. And why did you respond there?
I responded there to take a late assault report.
Okay. And why was it in a late assault report?
Dispatch advised me that there was an assault report that needed to be taken at Hazel Street while I was on duty.
Okay. And had officers responded to that address earlier in the day?
I'm going to object to lack of foundation as to his knowledge of officers having responded earlier in the day.
I guess we can ask if he's aware of officer responded.
Dispatch advised me that officers had responded earlier in the day prior to my.
Okay. And why hadn't they taken them?
Okay, I'm going to object again because, first off, definitely just gave us hearsay. Dispatch advised him. Lack of foundation as to how he would know what officers who may or may not have gone did.
Right, and I'm assuming you're asking these questions for what purpose?
Well, Your Honor,
to be not for the truth of the matter asserted, or effect on the listener. Why are you asking this line of questioning?
I'm asking this line of questioning to understand why Mr. Fox responded much later.
Objections overruled as to hearsay because she's asking to find out why he did what he did. Okay.
Were you ever advised by dispatch for why you were responding?
I received no particulars other than I needed to take a late report for an assault.
Okay, so you don't know why after officers responded earlier in the day there was
I'm going to object and assume the fact, not in evidence.
Your question and an objection came at the same time, but will you complete your question?
So he doesn't know why the officers earlier in the day did not take a report.
And my objection is because there's no evidence that officers were there.
I thought that his testimony was that
was not offered for the truth.
I didn't finish saying my statement. I thought his testimony was that he responded because he was told to take that there was she asked why it was a late report. That was the question. And he said that there was an assault and no report had been taken. I thought that was his answer.
He indicated that dispatch notes indicated officers were there earlier, which was not.
Yeah, but he's already said that there's no report had been taken. So your follow-up is this: did you know why there was no report taken? Still trying to figure out why he's doing what he's doing.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
I have no idea why no reports.
If you were to read your report, would that refresh your recollection?
Sure.
May I proceed?
Yes.
I do need to object because he said he doesn't know why. He didn't say he doesn't remember why. So I don't think there's a memory.
That's the truth. You didn't say you didn't remember. You would have to maybe re-question him about whether or not he addressed that in his report. I don't know.
Okay. Do you remember whether or not you addressed that fact in this report, your report?
Which fact?
Of why the report was not taken when the officers responded earlier in the day.
Okay, I'm going to object because again, it's assuming that officers responded earlier in the day. There's no evidence. What he said was dispatch notes said, which again is not offered for the truth.
That's a good objection.
I'm going to object to questions that assume as fact that officers responded earlier in the day, given that that's not evidence.
Okay, you're trying to figure out why he took a late report.
Correct.
Okay, and your position is that this is addressed in the police report?
Yes.
Okay, and that his answer is not consistent with what you feel is in the police report? Okay. Objections overruled.
She's going to allow it. That was a good objection because she did ask him not for the truth of the matter because it's hearsay. There are ways to get it in, but she didn't do it that way, and then she wanted to use it for the truth of the matter. I thought that was a great objection. I think the judge is siding with the defendant.
Repose my question. Do you know, or did you indicate in your report why the officers had not taken a report earlier in the day when they responded?
The information indicated in my report was based off CAD notes. So that's notes that come through our computer automated dispatch system. I was simply explaining why I was there what the report was for and why I showed up later in the evening to take the report for an assault.
Okay, so explain that to us now. Why you showed up later in the evening to take a report when we're.
I'm going to object. He's been asked and answered. He's made it pretty clear that dispatch told him to go take a late report. I think she's not getting the answer that she wants, but that doesn't mean you can ask the question again and again until you get the answer you like.
Yeah, he's answered that
did you identify in your report this reason?
Yeah, counsel. Yes. For the record, that objection is sustained.
Nice. Defense is fighting hard, probably because if there was a prior call at at this location, it didn't involve the defendant who doesn't live there, right? So the odds of the prior call involving the defendant, if defense is bringing it up, very, very low. Most likely involves the victim and might paint the victim in a very different light than what we've heard so far.
Officer Marcox, you indicated in your report that officers had responded earlier that day and that the victim did not want to press charges at that time. Is that correct?
I indicated that in my report.
Okay, thank you. Now, you weren't present for this alleged incident, were you?
I was not.
Okay. So you didn't witness anything regarding this incident firsthand, did you?
I did not.
Okay. So all you know about the incident came from the complaining witness, Ms. Bowers.
Correct.
And her mother, correct?
I believe her mother was on scene during the interview at the residence.
Okay, so they weren't separated.
I don't recall. It was over a year ago.
Okay. If I were to refresh your recollection based on your body camera footage, would that refresh your recollection?
Yes.
May I proceed?
Yes. A little bit to figure out when this was the jury.
After having watched a few seconds here of this, does this appear familiar to you?
I'm going to object at this point. I don't know if she's planning to. My understanding is that she's refreshing his memory. So I think the question would be, does this refresh your memory or not? Is this familiar?
I would need to watch it.
Okay.
This looks like every other call center in the block in the city.
Okay, well, let's get you to the actual.
Sounds like it hasn't refreshed his memory yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Or did you ask them for the refreshers?
Yes, so my question is, everything you know about this incident came from the complaining witness and her mother, correct? And they weren't separate?
And dispatch.
I don't recall if they were separated the entire time, or they were together the entire time. They were obviously there when I arrived on scene for the body camera footage. She showed me the first 5 seconds of me arriving on scene. They very well may have been, or may have not been. I don't recall at this time. So I'd have to watch the whole thing over again.
Okay, Your Honor, would you allow him to watch the whole thing? It's 21 minutes.
21.
We're not gonna sit here for 21 minutes for him to watch a video.
Fair. So if I showed you the middle of the video
Yes.
and the last bit of the video, would that help you?
Yes.
Or I guess I do want to put an objection on the record in that
It's getting spicy this
Carliona
morning.
was here yesterday and could just ask her, were you and your mother separated when you spoke to the police? I don't think it's necessary to go through.
She's not the best person to respond to investigating.
She can ask this what, you can't object because she's asking this witness that question. She can ask this witness that. It was his investigation.
Okay, so during your interview of Ms. Bowers, her mother interjected quite a bit, didn't she? In fact, 26 times in 21 minutes, correct?
I didn't hear the answer for the first question. Did you answer?
I did not.
Oh,
I did not.
Possibly. I don't recall exactly the entire interview. That's why I sort of police report with the facts that I took the interview.
Okay.
I don't recall 100% how many times she interjected or what her statements were.
Okay. Generally, when police are investigating assault and battery, they tend to respond to those incidents relatively quickly, right?
Yes.
Right, because there are concerns regarding investigations relative to timing. Right, we don't want too much time to lapse, correct?
I guess that's a true statement, yeah.
And that could essentially affect the quality of evidence, right?
Depends on the crime, yes.
Okay. One of the major reasons for that is reliability, isn't it?
you said reliability?
Yes, the reliability of the evidence.
Yes.
Because a lot can happen, for instance, in 16 hours.
Yes.
For example, we might not be able to tell how old injuries are, right?
I'm going to object. That's lack of foundation. That's this witness's ability to age injuries.
As is, I have my fan on, so I couldn't
Sorry,
hear
his ability to age injuries.
Okay. Did you want to respond to the objection?
I'm not asking him if he can age injuries, Your Honor. I am asking him whether or not his training as an investigator tends to indicate that injuries might look older, or that you should not wait to investigate injuries for a long time, as it could change the appearance of them.
You're asking if that's his training or experience?
I am asking about his training.
He can answer if that's part of your training experience. So the objection's overruled.
I am not an expert in aging, judging injuries based on age.
What about investigating injuries?
I can document them. All right.
And relative to timing of that documentation, what's your training there? Do you have any training there?
I guess I'm confused about the question. My job as a patrol officer, I document, I take a report, I document the injuries that the victim has. That's why we take pictures of them, and I write a report, and then that goes to a detective.
Okay, but you don't wait days to document injuries, right? You generally document them as soon as you can, right?
It depends on the investigation. Yeah.
Okay. So there are instances where you will allow for significant time to lapse before you document injuries.
I don't understand the question that you're asking me, because someone has injuries, and injuries tend to get worse over time. So I document the injuries that I have right in front of me. Let's say, for instance, a domestic assault. I would document the injuries that I have in front of me at the time that I took the report.
Bruises.
Okay, and injuries tend to get worse over time. So they want it documented at the time that it happened or the time I'm taking the report.
Excellent, thank you so much. That's perfect, that answers my question. Now, during the interview with Ms. Bowers, it must have seemed odd to you that her mother kept interjecting if she wasn't present, right?
Objection.
I guess I'm going to object on the testimony that she wasn't present, and if there was such testimony.
Or leading.
You objecting as to if she wasn't present because of?
Well, the question assumes that Ms. Bowers' mother was not present at the time. I don't know that there was testimony to that effect, and if this witness is
testimony to that effect.
Well, if this witness is speaking on her not being there, that would be good.
He's interviewing these witnesses.
Yeah, I think he could testify as to whether or not during his investigation, he determined that she was present. I don't know that that's been a question.
Well, I guess the only way he would determine she was present is based on hearsay.
Well, his investigation is all he was saying.
That is, well,
All
I
the
mean,
investigation is hearsay. That's what the investigation is.
yes, but
He
what I'm
asked,
saying, that's
he
why
would
we
have
have
asked
the witnesses.
the alleged victim what happened. The document and all of it would be hearsay.
Yeah, and we're not allowed to have him just repeat
Right.
what witnesses
He's not, she's not asking him to repeat what he said. He could determine whether or not through his investigation if the people were present or not. So that objection's overruled.
just pushing.
But you didn't actually ask that portion. I rephrased it. So you might need to rephrase your question because I don't think you remembered it.
Okay. So you generally don't take information from witnesses that weren't present, do you? You generally don't interview them.
If they weren't present, no, for the incident specific to what I'm investigating.
So then if a witness wasn't present and they start to interject, that would seem a bit odd to you, right?
Yes.
Okay. And wouldn't that generally tend to indicate you probably should separate those two people so as not to allow that person who wasn't present to influence the testimony of the statements of the person who was?
Sure.
When you were capturing your statements from Ms. Bowers and her mother, they never claimed that, or she never claimed that anyone placed their hands around her neck, right?
She.
Ms. Bowers.
Which?
Okay, I'm going to object again to hearsay. He's just asking him to repeat what witnesses said, and like we went through the song and dance yesterday about prior inconsistent statements, which that exception doesn't apply because it's not inconsistent. So we're having the same conversation we did with the investigator.
What's not inconsistent?
Okay, she wanted to ask the investigator
Correct.
about hands on neck,
Well,
and we determined that he couldn't, and now she
What a
wants to ask.
conversation we had outside of the presence of the judge.
Now she's trying.
It's getting spicy. I'm not sure what the penalty is. I don't know if there's any priors for this defendant, but I'm pretty sure, like I'm reasonably certain that the penalty she's going to face is not going to be more than 30 days in jail. These lawyers are fighting like it's a death penalty case, which I like a ton. We can fast forward a little bit because we're behind, but let's see how long this sidebar lasts. It's just sitting there letting the attorneys do the work. We're going to skip ahead until they come back. Apparently it's a long sidebar. There we go.
Okay, that question is withdrawn.
When you were meeting with Ms. Bowers and her mother, you did gather evidence related to injuries, correct?
Photographs?
Correct.
Wallflower,
Yes.
thank you very much.
And
41
at no
minutes.
point in time did you ever photograph her neck, did you?
I don't recall photographing her neck.
If I show you photographs, would that help?
At no time did you photograph her neck.
Sure.
If I show you a photograph, will that help? I don't know if I photographed her neck. If I show you a photograph, will that help? Maybe he did photograph. Who? Oh, this is sister. I'm pretty sure this is sister. Supportive of defendant. Not a witness.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness? You may. Sorry.
Yeah, it's good.
It's empty.
Showing him a picture right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. We asked one question. With the pictures that you took, you never took one of the neck, did you?
No.
If you had seen injuries on the neck or had been reported, would you have photographed that? Yes. That's the next question, but she didn't ask that.
You did, however, take other investigative actions in addition to taking notes from your interview with Ms. Bowers, right?
Yes.
Tell us about those.
And I interviewed the victim.
In addition to that.
I took photographs and then I gathered video evidence from a ring camera.
Got it. So you had Ms. Bowers kind of show you and reenact what happened in the living room?
Yes.
Are you sure?
To be honest with you,
Because you couldn't recall just a few minutes ago what was on your video camera, and now you can.
what do you mean reenact? I often ask people to show me exactly what happened and where you were located in the house.
And you remember doing that with Ms. Bowers?
This is her witness, right?
No, I don't think I remember 100% of the entire investigation. I guess I'm confused. You're asking me if I got more video evidence?
I think you answered my question that you didn't do it. Relative to the other witnesses, did you gather any other statements?
I interviewed the two people that were there. That's the people who were
But
present.
you knew about other witnesses too, right? Did you ever interview them?
No.
But you surely knocked on neighbors' doors to see if maybe anybody else witnessed anything.
No.
You mentioned ring camera videos. You did follow up with Ms. Bowers' mother to make sure that you had the full ring footage rather than just that little snippet, right?
But it's not my job.
Not your job. Okay, understand. What about the bumps that were alleged to be on the back of Ms. Bowers' head? You put on a latex glove and checked the back of her head, right?
I did not.
Even after she showed you?
I did not touch the victim.
Isn't it possible that you missed a good chunk of what actually happened due to Ms. Bauer's statement being captured many hours later, you not interviewing anyone else, and you not reenacting and doing other investigative steps?
I don't understand the question. My job is come take an initial report, the patrol officer. So we have detective bureau for investigators.
Okay, there's a difference between understanding my question and not liking it.
I just don't understand it.
Isn't it possible
She's getting
that
snarky.
a lot of the evidence was missed in this case?
In my initial investigation on scene, I'm sure there's a lot more evidence.
Thank you. No further questions.
Okay. Just to clarify a couple things. Is it correct that in your police report, it indicated that prior officers responded and the victim did not want to give a statement?
Yes, they need to do that.
And isn't it also correct that that's information that you got from CAD notes? And can you please explain to the jury where CAD notes come from?
So, I have a computer system. It's called Computer Aided Dispatch, and on my computer in my car, I will get a call. So I'll get sent to a call, and then in that call, I can see notes that were in there. And dispatch will put things that happened prior. Let's say there was an issue earlier in the day or a different day. They can put notes in there, and I can read those notes. And then I go to the call.
And did you ever personally speak with any officers who may or may not have been there earlier in the day?
I did not.
Now, on June 13th, your June 13th and the June 14th shift, what time did you start work?
20-30 hours, so it's 8:30 p.m.
Okay. So if something occurred at 8:30 a.m., you weren't even working until 12 hours later, is that correct?
Correct.
Now, if there was information that someone had tried to report this to the police that morning, would you have any reason to dispute that? No. Now, when you spoke with the victim approximately what time do you recall you arrived there to speak with the victim and her mother?
I would say somewhere between 12:30, 1 a.m., I believe, in the morning. So early morning.
Now, at this point in time, did you indicate that only the victim and her mother were on scene?
I believe I indicated only the victim and their mother were on scene when I was there.
Now, is it common police practice when someone says they have knots on the head to start feeling their head to try and feel the knots?
No.
You're not a detective, is that right?
No, I am not a detective.
So then it's not your job to then run around and interview all the witnesses who might have been there, right?
Correct.
That would be a detective's job.
Correct.
All right, no further questions.
Officer Fox, you don't dispute that it is somebody's job, though, to investigate, right?
Officer Farts?
I don't dispute that.
Thank you. And you do recognize that you had a very clear memory for the prosecution when they just examined you versus when I examined you, right?
Take a short break.
Yes.
No further questions.
Questions from the jury for this witness? So this be excused?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
The other witnesses?
Now they're
Rebuttal witnesses?
No rebuttal witnesses, Your Honor. Thank you.
We went over the jury instructions yesterday. I'm happy to proceed right into those.
I think that we do not need to add the.
I agree.
Yeah.
He's here. So I think the way that we left them yesterday are sufficient. We can just do the closing instructions and do your final argument. I don't know what's going on with Jessica Shaw. She keeps trying to log in, but she's already here. So, okay. So that concludes the. Okay, let's give the jury a break then. All rise for the jury.
Jury gets a break. Let's see if they're going to work on the instructions really briefly. We'll probably skip to that.
Take a short break.
And she's going to mute it for that discussion, so we're going to fast forward. Are they leaving? They're doing landlord-tenant stuff.
Yeah. And who was this that was late? Ms. Patterson, why were you late?
So I was getting ready to come here, and then my brother called me at the last minute saying that he was going to take my daughter to camp, like he has been doing for the last 3 weeks. He works for Massey School District. So
I think that's the attorney, because that's the issue. The attorney came and left. So we tried to call and have him come back. So we're trying to see if he can log in. Because it sounded like you all worked out an agreement. Okay, he'll be back in 15 minutes. Okay. This is Lane Brewer versus Tracy Metcalf. And all other occupants.
They're sticking landlord-tenant stuff right in the middle of this.
6-04043. Ms. Tracy Metcalf and all other occupants.
Miss Metcalf.
Oh, was that you? You come forward, ma'am. Appearance, please.
Attorney Marcus Felder on behalf of plaintiff Lane Brewer.
Okay, I think I got it fixed. Okay, Troy. Amber's going to kill me, but I fixed it.
Okay, I have a possession judgment here that you
We're going to
have
skip
entered by
this.
consent. It says Rich.
We're going to skip this because this is a landlord-tenant case that the judge is taking right in the middle of her jury trial. I guess the jury can wait because somebody has to be evicted. So we'll let that go. Now she's going to read the jury instructions to the jury, and they're long. And we're not going to hear them. There we go. Now we're just a few minutes behind.
Whether the defendant acted in lawful self-defense. Remember to judge the defendant's conduct according to how the circumstances appeared to her at the time she acted. First, when she acted, the defendant must have honestly and reasonably believed that she had to use force to protect herself from imminent unlawful use of force by another.
Try it again.
If she believed, or if her belief was honest and reasonable, she could act at once to defend herself, even if it turns out later that she was wrong about how much danger she was in. Second, a person is only justified in using the degree of force that seems necessary at the time to protect herself.
Yeah. Okay, we've got that part.
Claiming self-defense must not have acted wrongfully and brought on the assault. However, if the defendant only used words that does not prevent her from claiming self-defense if she was attacked.
Okay, we got it.
There was only
we all
one
memorized
other,
that.
Jury instruction should have been added. I just thought about it. And that's because the officer testified.
we're done with witnesses. We've had the closing. We're up to the closings.
5.1. It's actually hidden on the slide. Just like that.
Amber's not mad, Troy, just for the record. She's not mad that I'm doing this. It's that I have a huge to-do list from her that I haven't done.
Okay, you have heard testimony from a witness who is a police officer. That testimony is to be judged by the same standards you use to evaluate the testimony of any other witness.
I'm sorry. I like that it's 5-1-1.
That concludes jury instructions. You can do your closing arguments.
We've had turd and fart both be slip of the tongues during this case this morning. We're back in the poo trial.
A short break.
SPH1.
Do I need to give you permission every day? Is that what's going on?
Every day you need to give permission.
Okay, try it again.
Yeah, wiggle the cable again. It disconnected.
Okay. I told you guys from the jump that this was going to be about credibility. And I was right. That's what we're going to be focusing on. You heard testimony from we 5 witnesses, 4 of whom were all there when this happened. And it's going to be your job to decide how credible people are. Decide who you think is telling the truth. And it's my job now to convince you that beyond a reasonable doubt, the first 2 witnesses you saw were the ones who were telling the truth. And the next 2 witnesses you saw were lying to you. And let's start first by talking about Carliana. Let me explain to you why she was a credible witness, why you should find her credible. First off, I would note that her story was consistent. Okay, because we did hear actually one of the several phone calls that she placed to Central Dispatch when she initially tried to make this report. And she testified that it was, maybe an hour later. And she did describe it was hard to hear because of all the background noise on the call. But she did say, my sister barged to my house, knocking down and was hitting. And that's the same as what she testified to today. Now, you're also going to, a lot of people talked about body language. Let's talk about her body language. First off, she clearly was nervous. She's a young person. She's a teenager. And she's here in this intimidating room. Close proximity with the sister sitting right here, lawyers right here, jury staring her down, evaluating her credibility. So it's clear that she was nervous. She was talking very quietly, which further demonstrates that she's nervous. It was not demonstrating a person who is motivated to get someone in trouble, who is here motivated to frame someone for something they didn't have. That's going to be the defense's position, is that she was here killing her sister for a crime that didn't actually happen. And I would submit to you that she was making an honest effort to tell the truth. That was in the instruction about that you just saw a second ago about evaluating witnesses' testimony. Did they appear to be making an honest effort to tell the truth? She was honest about things that she didn't know. And that's something that I like to emphasize because it does seem to me like it shows that they're being credible. And I'll get to this momentarily, but I think that you did see that the defense's witnesses remembered everything to the truth. And I would submit that that undermines the credibility. We'll talk to that. She was honest about the fact that there were things that she couldn't remember very well. Usually when someone's in custody, they sleep them in the jury box, and obviously that's not available. So We'll let the distractions dissipate and we'll get back into it. Don't worry, there's plenty of places where you can go and find.
What is going on here?
So, it's just a day in the life. There's other stuff going on. Apologize for that distraction. But her being honest, and then her memory being refreshed, and then things come back. Okay, that's how memory works, right? You talk about things. I think at one point when Miss Rod here was like, "Oh, but now you're saying this," as if she had got her. She just stepped in the mousetrap. She said, "Well, my memory is coming back now that we're talking about it." I think that we've all had conversations like that, where we're kind of like, "Oh yeah, and then this happened. Oh yeah, and this happened." Because keep in mind, it's been more than a year. So she's not going to remember everything perfectly more than a year later. And I don't need for her to remember everything perfectly, because this is a pretty simple charge. What I need to prove is this involuntary, intentional, harmful, offensive contact. So I don't need to prove to you that she remembers in perfect detail exactly what happened, how it happened, the order in which it happened. So all of that, when put together, suggests that she's telling the truth, that she's doing her best to tell the truth. And, get into her body language during cross-examination. I have to take my hat off to Miss Rob. She's very good at cross-examining witnesses. I think that she flashed that a few times. She's certainly better at it than I am, right? Prosecutors, we call witnesses, and defense attorneys tear them apart. That's the differences in our job. It's something that she does more frequently, and she's very good at it. And I think that most of the inconsistencies that you saw in Carleone's testimony were mostly a consequence of the defense attorney tripping her up, the defense attorney badgering her, the defense attorney accusing her of changing her story, right? We've got this teenage girl who's seated up here with this intimidating professional who is attacking her in a way that crime victims generally aren't subjected to. I've heard Ms. Straw before use the term crucible of cross-examination. And that was on full display. So when someone whose whole life, whose livelihood depends on making a person question themselves, I'm poking hole in a story that the person was trying to tell, right? Because when we're having a conversation and I'm telling you a story, generally you're not trying to poke holes in that story. So that right there is not something that I think that I would suggest speaks to her credibility. It demonstrates a lack of truthfulness, as the defense, I assume, will suggest to you it does. Now moving on to Brianna, who again, I would urge you to find credible. There are some keys to her body language I would look to that I think is worth noting. She was clearly doing her best to recognize the formality of the court. Right? She was dressed very nice. She was sitting up straight. She was making eye contact with this question and trying to be, I would suggest she was trying to be very matter of fact, doing her best to directly answer the questions that are being asked. And again, I'm going to suggest that what you saw was an honest effort to tell the truth. Now, one thing that I imagine is going to be harped on is that there were some differences between her recollection of what happened and Carleone's recollection of what happened. And I think that we all know that's normal. I regret not talking about that in jury selection. Sometimes I do talk about that in jury selection. I, of course, wasn't aware until the testimony came out that there was going to be some variation in what they were saying. But what that demonstrates is that the two of them did not make a conspiracy to take down Rhonda. That demonstrates that they never sat down and got their stories straight. Okay, and we'll touch on this more, but Miss Wade discussed having a clear memory of, well, that bedroom door was closed. Because both of our witnesses testified that the door was open. And Brianna said, well, I could see the end of it through the bedroom door because the bedroom door was open. And Rhonda Wade testified, well, I was there for 2 minutes over a year ago, and I remember that that door was closed. So if you're accepting her version of events, that would mean that all the information that she had, that she testified to, that she claimed she knew, was fed to her by Carleone Chowdhury, which then begs the question, why is she feeding a different story? That is something that doesn't make sense. And I'm going to ask you not to take that bait. I think that one of the instructions might have talked about, well, sometimes witnesses' testimony don't line up because they don't remember things they said. And I have to imagine we're all people here, okay? When you become a juror, you don't have to stop in a person, and you don't have to flip off your brain as to how you know people to operate. And I think that everybody here in this room knows that a year later, people are not going to remember things the same. Memory is very strange, and that doesn't mean that someone is lying or that someone is fabricating. Now, let's talk about Helen Wells and why she was not a credible witness. First off, that we need to recognize is the relationships at play. Now, in terms of incentives, why I recognize there are some parallels between Tella and between Brianna, and we'll get to that. But let's start out with Tella Wells' relationship to Rhonda Wade. These two are, I know that Miss Rob used the word half-blood, full-blood sisters, half-blood sisters. That's not a term that I use, but since that's been introduced, they have two parents in common. And I'm not going to suggest that automatically you are closer with a sibling because you have two parents in common, but that doesn't suggest that there's a likelihood that they spend more time together. They're much closer together in age, and it's very clear that they have had a lot more time around each other. On the days this happened, we saw that Tella went to the house with Rhonda. And then today or yesterday, they come into court together. They're working together. The two of them are on the same side, right? So we have a clear incentive here on the part of Miss Wells to try to help her sister, right? It's clear, yes, she's sisters with both of them, but it's clear that, it's common, right? You all know people with siblings. Sometimes you have this sort of divide, where you have two siblings who have two parents together who are much older than the other ones. And she has this incentive here to have her sisters back. And I would submit to you that that's what we saw in Tella Wells. Now, another thing that I would talk about with her testimony is that she remembered everything very well. That was something they both had in common. And that is something that evidences a story being cooked up. That evidence is, I'm not going to say that she stood in the mirror and rehearsed her lines, right? But that demonstrates that she came in here knowing what she needed to say to help her friend get out of trouble. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about incentives to life, okay? Because everybody does things for reasons. We have reasons for doing what we do, okay? I am here today because this is my job, right? I need to make a living, and that's the reason I'm here. You guys are here because you got a summons in the mail saying you need to come in here and you need to report to jury duty.
Get paid $8.
Okay, so everybody has motivations to drive the things that they do. So let's go one at a time. And let's see what incentive witnesses have to lie. And let's go in reverse order. Let's start with Rhonda Wade here. What incentive does she have to lie? Well, it's pretty simple. She is on trial for assault. So her lying advances her interest in not being convicted of assault. That is the clearest incentive that you have to tell a lie. Now, obviously, it's possible, that she's testifying as she did because that's what actually happened. But in terms of incentives to lie, which is very important in terms of assessing the witness's credibility, the clear as day one is that this individual right here is on trial. And she doesn't want to be in trouble. She doesn't want to be convicted of it. Now let's talk about Tella Wells and her incentives to lie. We touched on it a little bit. She's very close with her sister. And another thing that I think sort of took away from her credibility was her efforts to say, well, I'm just as close with Carly. We haven't talked in a long time, right? But I'm equally close with both of them. Okay, so that's something that I further would submit took away from her federation. But getting back to her incentive to lie, is she has this very close relationship with Rhonda. And she has an incentive to help Rhonda. She doesn't want Rhonda to be in trouble. She wants to pass it back. And then also, as we saw on People's Exhibits 4 and 5, the two of them went there together. So how does it make her look if she is perceived as helping her sister go over to his house and beat up his other sister? So there's some very clear incentives to lie on the part of both of these witnesses. Now, continuing to move forward, Brianna Williams. Let's talk about her incentives to lie. I'm not going to be dishonest with you and say that she doesn't have an incentive to lie, because she does. She is best friends with Carliana. And the incentive to lie here would be having her friends back, right? However, I would still suggest that she's more credible than Kelly. We kind of have these, they're almost counterparts, I would say. I would suggest to you that she is more credible than Kelly is. Okay. And there are some reasons for that. And I think that one reason would be that, again, the things that I talked about previously, that she is not, I guess, coordinating swords with the person who she's with. And the evidence is clear that the two of them were together outside of the police station when they're trying to make this report. So she is right there with her from jump. So I think that there are a number of reasons, I would suggest a number of reasons to find Helen more credible. Now, walking through incentives to lie, I think the most starking one is Carliana. What incentive does Carliana have to lie? And ladies and gentlemen, there is none. I would challenge Ms. Straw to get up here and explain why Carliana was coming here and lie. What does she have to do? She looked like she was having fun yesterday.
Defense says challenge
You think
accepted.
she was enjoying that? What reason does she have to lie? We don't have a shred of evidence in this record of anything she has to gain from committing perjury, from cooking up this lie that day. An hour later, she is outside on this street trying to talk to the police, telling the dispatcher what happened. For what reason does she have? Because we heard their perspective, right? Their version of events is we showed up and we knocked, and then we argued for a second, and then we left. Okay, what would cause a switch to flip and say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell a lie about what happened. I am going to go and I'm going to make a false police report, which is a crime. I'm going to go commit crime one, make a false police report, and accuse my sister of beating me up. And then, over a year later, I'm still motivated. We haven't talked since then, but I'm still motivated. I am going to come to court and I'm going to commit perjury, another crime, to get her in trouble. And while I'm not done. I'm going to drag my best friend into this. I'm going to get her on board. Like, hey, Bree, I have an idea. What if we go and we commit perjury together to get my sister in trouble? How fun would that be? A nice friend activity. Let's go and perjure ourselves so that she's convicted of an assault she didn't do. High five, right? That's how teenagers spend their time now, right? They go and they make false police reports and commit perjury. No, that's ridiculous.
Well, some.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense at all. Let's seriously, is she getting money from this? Is she in some sort of lawsuit with her sister? It makes absolutely no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Now let's take her lack of incentive to lie and let's contrast that with the motive that we have from the defendant. Okay? Because Carliana made a pretty horrifying accusation against this person's husband. And we're not here to litigate, to be clear. We're not here to litigate whether that actually happened, the details of that. What I am here to suggest to you is that Carliana, in the eyes of Rhonda Wade, just blew up Rhonda's life, and Rhonda's mad about that. The simplest explanation sometimes is the best. Okay, so let's put
Occam's
those two
razor.
scenarios against each other. Scenario one, I'm mad at my sister because I lost my family because she made this accusation. I'm gonna go let her have it. Option B, fun together activity with my best friend. Let's go commit first. Now, another thing that's clear about the latter two witnesses you heard from, Rhonda and Tella, is that the two of them sat down and got their stories straight. Their testimony was the same down to the letter. And it's clear what happened. They went in and talked to this investigator together, right? This mysterious defense attorney investigator you keep hearing about. They got together and they came up with their defense. They strategized to figure out how to get out of this. And they came in here and presented exactly the same story down to a T, even down to the word move. They both said Rhonda moved Carleone's hand out of the way. They both said, well, we were invited in that she opened the door, and there's this sort of open door policy. They both said we were going over there to talk to our mom, and we were invited in, and then she held up the hand in the face, and then hand is moved out of the way, and then we left. I mean, the extent to which they're telling the same story more than a year later, isn't that a little suspicious? You should be suspicious of that, because that is people, and they admitted on the stand, they've talked about this numerous times since, and they admitted on the stand that they sat down with an investigator. And I'm submitting to you right now that they are the ones who got their story straight to try and help her get away with the crime. Now, let's talk a little bit about Pickles 4, which I would suggest is an important piece of evidence. I'm going to sit down for this so that I'm not obstructing Juror 2's view again.
We're going to watch the ring camera.
Now, the thing that I'm going to emphasize, here up to the cursor, we have the defendant here on the left, right? And let's just watch her go into the house.
The Adidas. She rips the door open and roam.
That is
she
gone. I would just play this on loop all day.
This is my closing argument. We're just going
to. And now watch Tella's reaction to her going in. Watch Tella. Look at that. She's reacting to something that just happened. Okay, that is a person bursting into this room. Wish the video wasn't, freezing up frames the way that it was. And I could just sit here and play this all day. She opens that door and she bolts in. And then you can see it. You can see it in Tella's face. See if I can pause it right on Tella's face. Look at that. All right, that is the chaotic scene that's already unfolding. You can see it right there in Tella's face. We saw Rhonda Wade.
Okay, we've seen this like 4 times now.
Okay, and we see someone who is startled by what they've seen. Now, another thing that I think is worth noting is something that actually came out in response to a juror question. You guys had some very good questions. And it came out, someone asked, have you and Carleone talked since then? And at that point, it came out that Rhonda Wade's mother called her that day and said, don't come back to my house. Okay. Her mother said, don't come back to my house. And let's take a look at what Rhonda and Tella say happened. Rhonda and Tella say that they knocked on the door, and then Carleone came out and said, why the fuck are you pounding on my door like that? And then they argued, and she moved the hand, and then they left. And that's all that happened. That's all that happened. Why is her mother saying, don't come back to my house, don't talk to Carleone anymore, you're not welcome? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Let me tell you what does make sense. You saw her burst through that door, she burst through that door, and she beat up her little sister. And then both their mothers said, "Don't." That right there is what makes sense. And that's from the defendant's mouth right there. That is a critical concession. A critical concession. Now, what I just discussed with her mother begs the question, why didn't her mother come here and testify? Why didn't her father, who broke them up, come here and testify? And I am going to tell you now that the absence of witnesses does not cut in either direction. I'm not going to stand here now and say that, the police did a good job. We heard from Officer Fox, who I would suggest did the best that he could. Okay. At the end of the day, I'm not going to try and defend them, but I would suggest that he didn't even start work until 12 hours after this happened. Clearly, we have a crime victim who was let down. We came here wanting to get help from the police and sat out there for hours and is calling Central Dispatch and is saying, I want to make this police report, and they just never come out. She's sitting in that car and they never come out. And then she goes home and this is another corroborative thing, right? She said, oh, it was more than 12 hours later. And Officer Fox testified, oh, it was after midnight. So it's lining up. So this young lady tries to do what she's supposed to do, go to the police and get help. And I anticipate that the fact that the police did not meet her the way they should, the defense is going to say, that means you should reach a not guilty. And I would submit that line of reasoning is clear. Okay, the lack of a police investigation and the lack, so obviously the only people who were there when Officer Fox reported were Carliana and her mother. And then it doesn't seem as though he ever went and made contact with other witnesses. There's no indication that's record that any detectives made contact with any other witnesses, right? And that's not Carliana's fault. And I'm going to ask if you don't hold that against Carliana. And I'm going to ask if you focus on the evidence that is here, not speculate on what other people might have said. Okay, I don't want you to sit here and say, well, if this happened, then she would have testified to this, et cetera, et cetera. I want you to look at the evidence that you did get and focus on what it does tell you, and not take the lack of police work, the absence of witnesses to mean that, well, this must not have happened. Because both things can be true, right? The crime could have committed, and the police might have let the victim of the crime down. Now, I think that finally, where I want to end is I want to talk about what a reasonable doubt would mean in this case. Okay. Because one little exercise I like to do is where you ask yourself what else explains these facts. So what I want you to do is play out the defendant's scenario and then ask yourself, is this reasonable? So a not guilty verdict would mean you believe it's reasonably possible that Rhonda Wade and Pella Wells went over to this house to talk with their mother, that they knocked and then were invited in via opening door and stepping back. And then despite being invited in, Carliana then starts yelling and cussing at them and holding up her fist, that Rhonda then moves her fist out of the way and then they leave. And then after they leave, Carliana makes up this plan, this conspiracy to take down her sister. And they make the plan right then and there. And then they go to the police and spend hours trying to make a false police report. They're so motivated by this plan to frame her sister that they sit out there for hours. And then they go home and then police come after midnight and Carliana is still motivated to make this police report. And then a year later, they're still so motivated they come here and they commit perjury. Okay, all of that, I want you to ask yourselves, is that reasonable? Is that possible? Sure. Okay, but is that reasonable? Is that a reasonable scenario? I want you to think about how people act, and let me posit a different scenario that I would submit is the only reasonable one. A different scenario is that Rhonda Wade is mad about her life getting blown up, and I'm not trying to pass judgment on her. I don't know what I would do in that situation. She responds to her anger by taking out on her sister. And she, for some reason, decided, this is your fault. I'm going to go and I'm going to take it out on you. And then her sister went to the police, and it took a while for the police to make time for her. And then she was telling the truth. Simple as that. And then the defendant doesn't want to get in trouble, and so she lied to you. And the defendant's sister also lied, he doesn't want to get trouble. Which scenario there is realistic? I would submit to you that scenario one is so much more, that the scenario of guilt is so much more realistic, and the scenario of innocence is so absurd. So as a guilty verdict beyond a reasonable doubt is the only just outcome of this trial.
All right. Defense.
Sure.
This lady's good at arguing. Let's see how she does with the jury.
Members of the jury, thank you for rejoining us today. At the beginning of this trial, I told you that this case is about an accusation between two sisters, and that accusations are not evidence. They still are. This case, as promised, will require you to look very carefully at the evidence. Let me address a few things that the people just said. You will indeed have to measure credibility. Okay? I won't tell you what you clearly saw in front of your own eyes and observed with your own faculties yesterday as these witnesses testified. I don't have to. You were here, you saw it, you listened, you paid attention, I saw it. I just ask that you use your common sense, okay, and evaluate what you saw based on your own faculties, based on your own experiences, based on the indications that they gave you. There is no issue with a person recalling an interaction that would later result in them being charged with crime. Okay? As defense attorney, okay, and God forbid any of you ever get charged unjustly with a crime, I would absolutely urge you to use all of your faculties to remember what happened, because you'll need them. Come day of trial, you'll need them. Criminal law requires the highest burden in all of the practice of law. Okay, the beyond a reasonable doubt standard is the highest burden of proof across all practices of law, and that's appropriate. Okay, where people's liberty is at stake, the people should not be able to just simply arbitrarily lock people up or convict them of crimes. They should have to show beyond a reasonable doubt that a crime occurred. I won't deal too deeply in the motive. I think it's a distraction. Okay, your job is to evaluate whether or not a crime happened. You'll need evidence to do that. Look at the evidence. I just asked you to do that. Evaluate the evidence. Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Marchamina is right. Both things can be true. The person, okay, could, the police could have failed to have investigated something, and a crime still could have occurred. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what happened here. Okay, the evidence has to show you that the crime occurred. Okay, so even if that person is guilty, and even if the crime wasn't properly investigated, at trial, you have to see evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that that crime occurred. And if you don't see that, you cannot convict. The prosecution does not get a conviction because an allegation was made. It does not get a conviction because there was tension between two sisters. It does not get a conviction because someone later went to the police. Okay, it must be proven, okay, that it was an intentional assault and battery. And it has to be shown beyond a reasonable doubt. I keep saying that, right? Because that's literally the crux of your job, is to use the standard to evaluate the evidence. As you evaluate whether the people met the burden, remember the facts. And let's look at those facts, okay? As you evaluate whether the people met the burden, remember the facts. Let's look at those facts. And let's look at the facts that amount to reasonable doubt. Number one, the report was made 15 hours after the incident is alleged to have happened. The prosecution case, their case, very much depends on Ms. Bowers' version of events. Unduly depends on her version of events and her statements. But her statement to police was not made immediately after this happened. Right? It was made nearly a day later. That delay matters.
A day later.
And I won't attribute that to being her fault, okay? But we did ascertain statements to the effect that she did not want to press charges earlier in the day. Okay?
And then she did.
Now, that gives time for reflection, for anger to grow, for details to shift, for an accusation to become something different from what actually happened. It also gives enough time to not do investigative work properly. Right? Take photographs while those injuries, alleged injuries, are fresh. Right? So that we know specifically that those came from this event and not from something else. We also know that police did not interview any of the witnesses other than Ms. Bowers. That includes Ms. Wade herself. Okay? She never was given an opportunity to explain to police what she saw that day, what she experienced. We did not, the investigator or the police, no one asked Ms. Wells what happened. Okay? We always knew from the very beginning when Officer Fox responded, he knew who was present. Names were given. He knew where they lived. He knew how to contact them, but no statements were gathered. They didn't, or he didn't, even check in with any of the neighbors, okay? Nor did an investigator follow up later, okay, to see if they maybe saw anything, perceived anything that happened that day. This fact is why the people are scrambling last minute to assert that Ms. Wells and Ms. Wade coordinated their stories, because they never gave statements to police. Those were never memorialized or taken down and documented. So he doesn't have anything to go off of. We heard from Officer Fox that it is not his job to investigate, but he did concede to the fact that it is somebody's job to investigate. And this process critically depends on that happening, because that's what you evaluate relative to evidence. It's what comes from this investigation. Ms. Wells denies any battery, any assault.
But mom did kick her out of the house and said, don't come
She
back.
told us
immediately after.
that Ms. Wade did not assault, did not batter Ms. Bowers, and she was there the entire time. She was close enough to witness all of this. She told us firsthand that what she saw was Ms. Bowers raise her hand and Ms. Wade moved her hand out the way. That at most can amount to self-defense. And we've not heard from the people relative to the testimony from those witnesses relative to self-defense. They have not met their burden. We don't know how Ms. Bowers sustained her injuries. She could not tell us that. Someone who was harmed could not tell us that. her own words, an allegation she made. She can't tell us how she got her injuries. It's a question. It's reasonable doubt.
One guy's sleeping in court. A couple people are on their phones.
Miss Williams, we heard from the complaining witness's best friend, Ms. Bowers' best friend. And her story changed, okay? Right in front of your eyes. From direct examination to cross-examination, her version of events changed. What she alleged to have happened changed, metamorphosed right in front of you.
It metamorphosed?
The accounts don't match. That's probably one of the most notable things. We're supposed to look at those two witnesses, Ms. Bowers and Ms. Williams, and deem them to have had credibility. But their statements vary widely. It's not just a matter of memory having lapsed. It is literally a different attack was supposed to have happened. Ms. Bowers tells us that Ms. Wade pulled her hair, pushed her down, made her fall to the ground, was on top of her, okay? And then Ms. Williams tells us a very different story. She never saw hair being pulled. And Ms. Bowers is supposed to have fallen forward, not on her back. And apparently Ms. Wade is supposed to have also choked Ms. Bowers. And at some point, I guess during all of this, Ms. Bowers is supposed to have urine, which she didn't say herself. Ms. Williams' statements don't appear at all to be consistent with what Ms. Bowers, the person who is supposed to have endured this experience, they don't match. Now, both of those witnesses are young. I do recognize that. But I think they're old enough to know the difference between telling the truth and fabricating. Now, all of this also is supposed to have happened within 1 minute and 47 seconds. Now, I'm a lawyer. Math is not always perfect, y'all. Okay, but it's under 2 minutes. Okay, we'll go with under 2 minutes. And finally, we heard from Ms. Bowers herself that their father is supposed to have separated them. He is supposed to have seen them entangled, scuffling, and been the person to separate them. But for whatever reason, you didn't hear from him. Think about that. Ask yourself questions. Why would that be the case? Now, I have an empty card, okay? And this one I keep just for you, okay? I'm an imperfect human being. I can miss things. You may have picked up another reason or another fact that amounts to reasonable doubt that I didn't. This card is for you.
What's the card say? Everyone gets a gift card?
If you agree with even one of these reasons, okay, in any of these examples
The
that
defendant is holding up the sign?
then you have reasonable doubt. And if you have reasonable doubt, there's only one appropriate verdict, and that's not guilty. Remember what you promised me. Before all of this started during jury selection, that you'd be the type of juror you'd want judging you, that you'd be fair and impartial, and that you would decide this case based on the facts of this case. Not on distractions, not on unnecessary motives, but on the facts of this case. And if you do just that, there really is only one choice. to uphold the presumption of innocence because the people simply have not met their burden of proof. I ask you today to find her not guilty.
Before I proceed, I just saw the defendant take the cards off and then throw them in half. And the defense put up a demonstrative and then I'm able to respond to it. I don't know what the, I guess if I mean, if you were to ask me to put the PowerPoint back up, I think it's odd.
You can't use your demonstrative for her argument either. I don't know what you're asking for. It's not an exhibit.
Okay.
I object to her tearing up the cards, saying this doesn't apply.
My understanding is that, like when they put up a demonstrative, I'm allowed to like engage with the demonstrative.
I'm not sure what happened. You said you still have them.
I do.
I would like to have them point and have cards if possible.
Could he point us to the court rule that expresses that, Your Honor? I am not aware of that court rule.
The judge can just order it.
That's fine. We can move past that.
Now they're fighting like children.
I mean, I guess that's what you do when you don't have a winning argument, right? You take the argument and that kind of stuff. So fully respond to it. So I suppose I will move forward without having the aid that they just put up and then put down and then torn it out. I want you to take note of that. All right. Which side is trying to be sneaky here? Okay. The side that has their witnesses getting together for meetings with investigators and then tearing apart note cards they put up so that I'm not able to fairly meet the argument that they make. Okay, when you engage in sneaky behavior like that, all right, that shows a guilty conscience right there. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Don't reward that.
They hate each other.
Don't reward that nonsense. That sort of game. When you come in here and you're playing games in the court, trying to discreetly tear note cards in half and put them in a pocket so I can't respond to your argument. I mean, if I had a PowerPoint, they wanted to respond to slide in the PowerPoint, I'd put it back up. All right, that's called being fair because both sides deserve a fair trial. Okay, when you're not interested in a fair trial, when you are destroying your demonstrative, the second you're done with it, that right there is going to be a guilty person's done. That's ridiculous.
Counsel, can you approach?
Yes, Your Honor.
The judge.
Chambers.
In chambers. Oh, someone's getting a spanking. Someone's getting a spanking. I don't know which side's getting the spanking. I think the state's gone too far because they're making their whole rebuttal about the demonstration of how they tore up cards. This is basically the same as if they had a board up, a big, huge whiteboard with one of those squeaky black magic markers, and they cross things off. They're like, well, this is out, this is out, this is out, and now the prosecution gets up and says, you've crossed it off. I can't use it. You've torn them, because they tore them instead. They tore the cards. I think the state went too far, and he's escalated. It's not that he peaked and then he's moved on, and she's like, well, that was actually a problem. He's ramping it up. It's about to go down is where they're at right now. Oh, maybe they're yelling in the back room. I'm gonna just skip ahead, see if we can see when they come back out.
Don't reward that.
That's the part where they were saying don't reward that.
This is asserting there's this.
Oh, they came back.
Okay. I'm an in-person.
Nope.
You still have them?
I do.
Okay, where are we at? We're at 1646.
That right there.
He's still ramping up. Now we're at 15:15. 1 minute.
Now.
2 minutes. Okay, so now
the defense described motive as a distraction, and I would say the motive.
I want to see their behavior when they walk back in. Sorry, we're gonna back up just a little bit. Here they're coming back in. Let's see who's happy and who's crying. Defense doesn't.
Now, the defense described motive as a distraction.
They look
and
fun.
I would submit to you the motive is not a distraction. That is evidence that is useful to you in guiding you towards making your decision. All right? The motive is not a distraction. It is important evidence. Now, the defense is correct that allegations are not proof. Allegations are not evidence. Okay? And you are instructed the fact that Ms. Wade is charged with a crime, that right there is not evidence of guilt. However, we have beyond allegations, we have sworn testimony from witnesses who are placed under oath. That right there is not just an allegation, that is evidence. Now, there is a lot of emphasis on the fact that the police did not take the report until much later. And there is a line in the police report saying that the police responded earlier and the witnesses did not want to give a statement. And the defense so desperately wants that line in the police report to be true, okay? And they're trying to find a way to make that true. But the evidence on this record that we have suggests that it's not true, okay? We have testimony from Mark Fox saying that he was writing down what was in dispatch notes. And we have testimony from 2 witnesses who said that the police did not come at the time that happened, okay? So that is something that is not true, that is being pointed to. Now, in general, there's a lot of attack on the police investigators, and that is something that is done when the facts are not on your side, right? The facts that we have are not on the defense's side. There was conversation of the police did not interview the witnesses at that time. Well, to that, I would say, yeah, I wish that they had. I wish that we had interviews from Teller, for example, at the time this happened, but there were 4 people who were involved in this, and you've heard from all 4. So you don't have to wonder what might have you gotten, because you heard from all 4. So there's no mystery. The one person who was at least partially involved in this was Carlene's dad, who it sounds like in the testimony he came in and he broke it up. So the defense is asserting there's this self-defense claim as well, and he wouldn't be able to speak to how it starts. The 4 people who can tell you what happened, you heard from all 4. Now, finally, there was one card that said 1 minute and 45 seconds. The implication being all of this couldn't happen in 1 minute and 45 seconds. Let's see, right, or 47 seconds.
Oh, he's going to do a stopwatch.
Let's see how long 1 minute and 47 seconds is, and you can tell me if that's long enough for what we described to attack.
Okay, we're going to have to narrate this. Start. You ready? Start. Oh, he's using my timer. Hello, I know you're in there. Open the door. I'm going to keep knocking until you open the door. What? What do you want? Open the door. Open the screen door. I'm coming in. Whap, 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 whap. Get off me. Get away, you pig. I'm going to say nice words. I'm not going to say bad words. Whap, whap, ow. Take that. Whoop, whoop. What are you kids doing down there? Whap, whap. She started it. You said whap. My knee. Okay, so we still got a minute. Got a minute. I think I can fit it all in. If you don't know what I'm doing, you haven't followed this case. I have followed this case. As exciting as it is. So got 45 seconds. And, hey, kids, knock it off. I'll have none of this roughhouse in here in my house. Older daughter, don't bring this crap here. Get out. I told her, honey. I told her. You leave and don't come back. Whatever, she started it. You always pick her side. Okay, now we open the door, go out to the front porch, and leave. We've got time. It could have happened. Could have happened. But, Mom, she's breathing my air. Yeah. Biff, bam, pow.
Now ask yourselves, is that enough time for Rhonda Wade to burst in through the door, grab her sister's hair, tap her onto the ground, punch her a few times, pin her down, and scream at her? Yes, that was enough time. Clearly that could have happened in a minute and 47 seconds. Bust in the door, hit someone a few times, pin them down, dad breaks them up. That's plenty of time. Now, finally, the thing I want to leave you on that I think is so important. This is a conspiracy defense. That is what it is. The defense being put forth is that these two young girls conspired to convict this person of a crime she didn't commit. Okay, and I put forth a challenge to Miss Rob, and she has no obligation to meet my challenges with Farmer Owens, to be clear. She had no obligation to do that, but I said I challenge Miss Rob to present you with a reason why Carliana would do this. With something that Carliana has to gain from committing multiple crimes in order to get her sister in trouble. And of those note cards that were on the board, none of them included a reason. None of them included something that Carliana has to do. And for all of these reasons, I'm asking you once again to find the defendant.
One of these jurors is alternate, so you do not have to go to deliberate.
We all got along just wonderfully.
Juror number one, you're free to go.
Juror number one's like,
You can leave that there in case they're not able to deliberate and someone doesn't make it through, we'll call you back. Remaining jurors, you again have to pick a foreperson. You will get a full copy of the instructions. If you have any questions or you want to review any of the exhibits, have your foreperson write that down on a note, tap on the door. Someone will be outside the door monitoring. You slide it to them. No direct communication should be made of you with anyone outside, and also don't let anyone know how your voting stands. And if you have any other questions or concerns, you will do the same thing by tapping on the door and writing down the concern or the question.
Just don't tap in Morse code.
We are going to be released now for deliberation. Is someone else going to come in here? Maybe Star. Thank you.
Well, it looks like we need to start a timer, so let's do that.
Do you solemnly swear that you will, to the utmost of your ability, keep persons sworn as jurors on this trial from separated from each other, and that you will not suffer any communication to be made them or of them orally or otherwise until the time that a verdict is rendered? Thank you. You may be excused for deliberation.
Are these our jurors that are walking out? Big stretch there and back. Wake up.
Stay close, because I'm sure there will be maybe a question or a request to see the exhibit soon. We have Mr. Markarian in the building. How are you? I'm doing well. Are you like just stopping to visit us? Are you like doing some lieutenant action?
No landlord tenant action.
Oh, that's too bad.
Sorry.
It's bad, so that's what we're doing next.
To say hi.
Oh, it's good to see you.
I've got a form I need you to sign.
Form?
You can
Search
approach.
warrant? Okay, we're going to fast forward and see if the jury comes back. We've got a timer, which we're 12 minutes behind, so let's see.
A copy in just a moment, then you're all set. Please, stand for a minute. Okay, Mr. Smith, thank you. Okay, Mr. Gooder, thank you as
So we
well
need to
for
add
your
12
patience.
minute to the jury time.
This matter is set for hearing. This is for non-payment of rent. It says possession judgment will enter past due amount of $2,224.31, correct?
Yep.
Plus court cost $183.55 for a total past due $2,407.86, and that you'll pay that or vacate by the 31st of this month. Is that correct? You have the right to have an attorney represent you today. You understood that right, correct? Are you waiving that right?
Yes.
You also have the right to proceed to trial. You could have made a demand for jury trial. You're waiving that right as well? Okay, no one's forcing or threatening you to waive these rights, correct?
No.
You have 3 business days to request to have that judgment set aside if you later realize you misunderstood any of your rights, okay? We'll get your copy in just a moment. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set.
What? Okay. Put up a sketchy poll. Cast your vote after reading all the options carefully, says Red Pen. Thank you very much. It is a sketchy poll. Question is, did the state prove their case against Rhonda? No. Rhonda is innocent. Rhonda should rethink her choices. Carlina was telling the truth, or who cares, not a case for courts. It's a family fight. Dad should have settled it. Someone needs a spanking and it would have been over. Oh, man. They changed the angle because the judge doesn't like showing the jury in this courtroom. And this was for the telenova, not court. The spice all happened between the attorneys. And in chambers. I want to know what happened there. I think it was inappropriate how the prosecutor was going off on the defense attorney and insinuating that the way they presented was a sign of guilty conscience. And that is, you can base your decision off of that. Oh, man. No. You need to base it off the evidence that you heard during the trial. Yeah, the sisters are taking lessons from the attorneys. Like, oh, next time we fight, we'll do that. We'll do that for sure. All right, we're going to leave Judge Simmons right here doing what she's doing and then pop into Judge. Oh, my goodness. I swear I just saw a face, but I'm the only one home. Just had a small heart attack. We're going to pop into Judge Simpson from Simmons. So a little hop, skip, and a jump. Good morning, Judge
Court
Simpson.
does call the case, People versus Desmond Campbell.
Oh, we've heard that name before. What on high speed are we, Judge?
Sir? Oh, got it.
Thanks for zooming in from church. Oh, no,
Go
that's
ahead,
another
counsel.
courtroom.
Morning, Jeff Perlman on behalf of Desmond Campbell.
All right. Your name, sir?
Desmond Campbell.
All right. Okay. This is date and time set for sentencing. Have you reviewed the pre-sentence report?
Yes.
Yes, Judge, I have, and I have with my client.
All right. Are there any material deletions, corrections, or additions to the report?
There is, in the last indication on his previous record, that's not him. It must be somebody else with a similar name, but there's an indication of a felonious assault. That is not him.
It wasn't me.
Otherwise, everything else is accurate.
You're talking number 7?
Yes.
Wayne County? All right. Got it. All right. Anything else either of you'd like to say before I do impose sentence?
Just that my client is a very hard worker. He's, and on a good track. He did take responsibility and has learned a tremendous amount from this situation. We are asking respectfully that the court follow the recommendation of a 12-month probation.
All right. I do have before I go to sentencing, I do have a community corrections violation.
Oops.
Is that correct?
So it's my understanding there was a violation. However, my client has since obtained a medical marijuana card.
Doesn't matter.
Which I think perhaps would address the violation.
They're not retroactive, are they?
Okay, this was the one that was sent through. Correct.
Yes.
That's the one. Okay. So he doesn't have the card yet, but the application and acknowledgement of the application and card came through. I think that's what we received.
Okay, I believe is that accurate, Mr. Campbell?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably could have done that before. All right. Anything you want to say, sir, before I impose sentence?
No, sir, I apologize. I just want to handle this and get it behind me. That's all.
Sentence of the court, I'm going to place you on 12 months probation. You're to pay $655 fines and costs, $360 probation oversight fees. When can you pay that?
I can start in a couple weeks.
Pardon?
I can start in a couple weeks.
You have anything today?
No, sir.
All right. So are you asking for a payment plan?
Please.
All right.
Don't bring money to court. You guys are
as arranged by
thieves.
probation.
Stealing all the money when I show up.
No
here.
use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to complete a gun safety class as directed by probation. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms,
Gun
ammunition,
safety?
or anything fashioned to be a weapon. I will order the forfeiture of the weapon, which is the Taurus G2C with the serial number as in the file. I'll order that you maintain employment with verification to probation. I'll order 365 days in jail. Credit to the balance is suspended. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Cole.
Judge. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
Court calls the case. People versus Dustin Megason.
Good morning to your honor and to your staff. May it please the court. Joseph Slavin, P number 61705, on behalf of Mr. Megason, who stands to my right. Sir, could you state your name for the record, please?
Dustin Megason.
Your honor, we've had the opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report. We find no additions, corrections, or deletions that need to be made there too. Just brief allocution.
Okay. I have a bond violation. Were you aware of that?
I was not, your honor. What's the bond?
It's also set for a hearing today. It appears to me that he operated a vehicle without security.
I was not aware of the, was there no insurance, someone?
Yes, I had been pulled over for. I didn't get no ticket for it. I didn't get no tickets, and I didn't get arrested.
It looks to me, counsel, and I will
I got pulled up.
tell you what I'll do so that you have all of the information. I'll pass the matter and then have my staff give you a copy of this report. So that
that's it. Don't have that.
Okay, so I'll pass this matter.
He says it wasn't him.
Go through that with your counsel, your attorney. Sir, go ahead and have a seat. Court does call the case. People versus Brenda Miles Roberts. Like,
Trying to figure out why I have audio on this. Oh, that's the wrong one. This one. Got right channel static at like negative 20 decibels. Weird. Okay. That's former Judge Slavin.
Yes. Good morning, Your Honor. Robin McCoy, P63057, on behalf of Brenda Miles Roberts, who stands to my right.
Who was that?
your name?
Brenda Miles Roberts.
Thank you. Read the pre-sentence report or the alcohol screening and assessment.
You said,
Have you read that?
yes, I did that. And I do have she has letters of support from church, her job, and the doctor that she works for. So I don't know, did you want to have a chance to look at that?
Well, that's going to hold us up because obviously you want me to review those.
I do. I can.
haven't seen them, so.
I can email the court if you if you want to just pass it.
I don't have to.
Rhonda, would you like these hard copies?
Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this, but that's fine. Yeah, I'll take the hard copy. All right, so I'll pass this, man.
Okay, thank you.
Court does call the case. People versus.
Morning. I'll spend the Lawrence County on behalf of this Keith. Yeah, Zoom, Your Honor.
Yes.
At least part of his head is. Maybe it's somebody else.
Keith.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you turn on your camera, please?
Okay, just a second.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
Hello.
Go ahead, Ms. Burns.
Sir, we did review the pre-sentence report. We don't have any material changes, additions, or deletions, and we ask that you adopt probation recommendation.
Ms. Keith, is there anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
No, I don't.
All right. Sentence of the court, $480 fines and costs, 93 days in jail that is suspended. When do you think you can get that paid?
Can I be placed on a payment plan, please?
Do you have anything today?
I will get paid next Friday. I will have something next Friday.
Okay, so what kind of payment plan do you want?
A lenient one.
I'm gonna need a couple months.
Okay, so you need.
That's the only way to watch football, Mrs. McGuire.
I can pay 50 next Friday. You said it's $490?
Can you get this all paid off by, say, October 30th?
Yes.
Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll just make it payable by October 30th, but I'd suggest that you make payments in between.
Okay.
All right?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Two Dogs Mom, thank you very much.
Court
This
does
is
call
a
the case.
wonderful
People versus Sean Costello.
This is a public defendant, Nicholas, on behalf of Mr. Costello. I have been unable to make contact with my client, Deanna, acknowledging his lack of appearance.
Bench warrant.
Or
She'll cover costs.
set aside the last bench warrant. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of $15,000. I give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately.
Did this Judge Slavin stuff just get released? It looks like it's
Court calls
dated
case
May.
People versus Christopher Fair.
Assistant public defendant, Nicholas Buckovich, on behalf of Mr. Fair.
Not checked.
Christopher Fair. It's also show cause.
Yes.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of $10,000. 10% privilege. Warrant will issue immediately.
Have we read this Judge Slavin stuff?
Court calls the case of the People versus Jacob Hodge.
I'm just seeing it for the first time.
Good morning. Joshua Hodge.
What did I say? I said I have Jacob. I think it's you guys anyway.
Yeah, Jacob Hodge, but it is a me.
I'm going to
I'm gonna call
read
this
this
one.
document today.
Assistant public defendant, Nicholas Buckovich, on behalf of Mr. Hoffman.
Not checked. We don't have a.
Northwest, was that you that sent it to me just now?
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of $7,500. So give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately. Court does call the case People versus William Kendrick. I think he's
Morning, is hearing of Mr. Kendrick. Your name, sir?
William Kendrick.
Thank you, sir.
I spoke with Mr. Kendrick. He informed me that he was incarcerated in Washington jail for 30 days in May. He lost his job. He is looking for a new job, so I'd ask him for German to give us time to get back on the start making pay.
I'll adjourn the show cause. What's my October date?
October 14th.
October 14th, 2026, 9 a.m. All right. Thank you, Mr. Kendrick.
Thank you. That's my birthday, Your Honor.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So hopefully people will give you money for your birthday and you can come in and pay us.
Okay.
Happy
yes,
birthday.
sir.
I know that's
look
bad,
good.
isn't it?
That's
All right.
terrible.
All right, Mr. Kendrick. You take care.
Y'all have a good day.
You do the same. Court calls the case. People versus Evan LeBron.
Judge shows no mercy. I don't care if it's your birthday. Pay
Good
the
morning, Assistant
fine.
Public Defender Laura Perry on behalf of Mr. LeBron. I did speak to Mr. LeBron yesterday, forwarded him the Zoom link. I don't have an explanation.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set at $5,000 to 10%. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case of the people versus Lorianne Pearson.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Laura Perry on behalf of Ms. Pearson. According to my report, she paid off the balance.
I have it at 0. I do.
Why are we here then? If she paid it off.
All right. She told me she was going to pay in full. Defendant paid. I was canceled.
Does anyone know what Judge London Kite
Court calls case people versus Dallas Williams.
is overseeing right now?
So show goes.
Assistant Public Defender Nicholas Bukovich on behalf of Mr. Williams.
Dallas Williams.
You can yell louder. He's not here.
Your Honor, I did speak to Mr. Williams this week about the show cause hearing. I do see that he made a payment on the 11th, because he told me he intended to do. Although I cannot explain his lack of appearance here today, I do know we spoke. He did attempt to appear, and he did make the payment as he indicated he would. So I would be asking for the consideration of an adjournment.
Well, when did he make a payment?
My court said, give me 1 second. My court said yesterday, 8/11.
How much?
A $50 payment.
Well, the last time we were here, February, he was to begin to pay $100 per month beginning March. And then I said that if he paid the $100 per month, court would consider waiving the $650 bench warrant fees once $1,000 had been paid. And I adjourned it out to May 13th, which I think got pushed to the 27th. I then adjourned out that date to August 12th, today, 9 a.m., and I set that in person. And he's not here, and it's only made a $50 payment.
I understand, yeah, I do remember the last time we were here, he was just returning back to work after a serious injury. So, like I said, I did speak to him. He did make the payment. I cannot explain his lack of appearance here right now. However, I would still be requesting that adjournment.
Bench warrant will issue bond set in the amount of $15,000. They'll give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately.
Mario Fernandez. Yeah, Mario Fernandez.
Court recalls case people versus Justin Megason.
Right.
Your Honor, again, Joseph Slavin, P number 61705 on behalf of Mr. Megason. Your Honor, I did have the opportunity to read through the statement. There was no citation issued. There was a glitch. I did talk to Mr. Megason about what was the deal with the insurance, and he showed me the he showed me his insurance card, and it is valid insurance now. What it was is he gets paid, he gets direct deposited, but he has his account set up for the automatic payments for the Progressive, and
keep the life simple. Keep the story simple.
And Progressive Day lined up the wrong way on a particular occasion, which means that payment didn't get processed. And if you're on a payment plan to pay your insurance, they just can you right there. Like, okay, no. So they had basically shut it off. He didn't know. And this actually is what gave him the knowledge to call him Progressive and say, okay. And then he corrected the error, made the payment that was missing. They reinstated his insurance policy.
Okay.
I've got some rating for you to do, and it's
Other
spicy.
than that, there was no citation issue.
Well, I'm going to
Do
do
we
it.
show anything regarding him?
That's what I was curious.
State police.
I don't see anything open for him.
No, I think, and it says in the description that when the trooper, got his license and everything, and that it says that he conducted the stop and realized that he was on bond.
Yada yada
So
yada.
I guess he just thought it would be a idea because he asked a lot of strange questions to Mr. Mag. He's like, "You doing any heroin? No, you doing anything? I don't do any of those drugs." I think it might have been just, he says, "Oh, his eyes were bulging out," and it's like, no. And he's done testing here. He's never tested for any substances. So why he took it upon himself to just, I guess, write a letter, making it look like some kind of a report, but it's really a report of nothing. They did impound the vehicle, which they got the vehicle back. The only thing they found in the
put under arrest.
They did put me in the handcuffs, but then I contacted my attorney. I don't know if my attorney got a hold of them, and that's when I got released.
Yeah, him and his
at the scene.
At the scene, me and my mother both got released at the scene.
Who?
Me and my mother both. My mom.
They found a circular saw and a couple of bottles of pop in the car, but other than nothing else.
You're riding around with your mother?
He had just got off work. I was on my way home that night.
You're driving with your mom. The police pull you over.
The only thing he was given at the
doing
scene
drugs.
was the business card for the trooper about where the towing is. And
why am I have a 4-page report about operating without insurance. He put up, he's with his mama, and then there's a line that they request I violate his bond on this case, which
dismissed with prejudice, Judge.
Has nothing to do with driving.
No. And I think they might have charges.
No.
My guess is that they saw the charges that were pending against him and thought, oh, okay.
I don't know what to guess. Well, that's a good guess. I don't know what. I
think it's you want to mess with the police officer? Maybe the police officer might mess with you back.
He gets put in handcuffs. I get a 4-page report to violate his bond. So I think that's discretionary then on my part.
Very much so.
Right?
State's looking down.
I could or I couldn't. I don't understand. He's with his mama. Right? Now, if he had been out running around every place, and I get that. Well, the last line reads, second to last line, I respectfully request the 14A District Court violate Dustin on bond because he was operating a vehicle without security. It's a misdemeanor.
And he should have arrested for the misdemeanor on this thing.
It's absolutely a misdemeanor.
It is.
One I did, then they issued citation. They didn't issue the citation. So I respectfully decline to violate his bond. I just don't see it.
I don't see it either. And I do think it's a little bit of a waste of resource or tax dollars to send this kind of report in time just to try.
It's just another tree. To me,
my great
I'm not.
won't be able to climb trees like I did when I was a kid or build forts because there won't be any trees to do it with.
Maybe not. That's now you've got a copy of the report. You can save that.
Well, I get some of the yeah.
All right.
I'm going to give that to you.
All right. With reference to the sentencing.
Sure. Your Honor, before you, Mr. Magnuson is a hardworking guy. He works 40 hours a week. As a matter of fact, he works with his mom. That's where they were coming from that day. And he's a high school graduate, do some ITT tech, and still looking to get that job here in the Pickles. But right now, he's said, you know what, you do what you got to do in the meantime. And he doesn't have any history. He self-reported. The PSI clearly states that he doesn't have any substance abuse use disorders at all. He maybe drinks twice a year. So does he have a past? Yeah, like from 7 years ago and a little bit further, some driving on suspended licenses. And that's why he's, having that license was important to him because he finally got that license and everything and got his license all squared away. And he's not that younger guy anymore. He's just asking that, and we're not downplaying the seriousness of the whole incident, but we just ask that we adopt the recommendation.
Anything you want to tell me? No? So he works with mom, drives around with mom, and want me to lock him up. I don't get it. That is.
He lives with his brother as well. They have a very close-knit family.
Apparently.
Little Aussie.
I know a lot of families who I'm like, they don't talk, and instead, you grow up close. So.
All right.
We just celebrated a 90th family reunion like a couple of weeks ago, and it's really cool. So,
your 90th family, or
for me, I don't know. I grew up from a big family.
You're not 90 anything.
All right, Mr. Mickelson. Sense of the court, I'm going to place you on 12 months probation. You're to pay $555 fines and costs, $360 probation oversight fees. When can you pay that?
Can we put on a payment plan and I could have it paid off within maybe 2 or 3 months?
Can you get it paid by October 30th, you think? Do you have anything today?
I do not.
Why does everybody not show up with money? You know what? Richard, mom showed up. Mom would have money.
She's actually off of work for right now because she just had surgery.
Yeah, okay. Well, wish you the best from us, all right?
Thank you, Aaron.
I'll indicate that it's a payment plan as provided with probation, but he's to have it paid off by October 30th.
Thank you for the 2020
today. Thank you.
No use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance will be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to complete a substance abuse assessment, follow all treatment recommendations for status reports to probation. You are to complete a behavior modification class. There's to be no assaultive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, ammunition, or anything fashioned to be a weapon. You're to maintain employment with verification to probation. I will order 365 days in jail. Credit to the balance is suspended. Right.
Have a good.
Hang on, what's happening in the court here? Let's see. Anything?
You can be seated.
Is the jury in? Well, they want to rewatch something.
I think they wanted to see it closer. Okay. I don't know.
Embiggen. The jury wants to embiggen the picture. Maybe bring the TV closer to them. You have a jury question.
Depending on, a screen, we can get this. Either stand over there.
Well, I think that I would help by zooming in on that screen. I think I can get it zoomed in.
No verdict yet. What is this case about, Laura? This is about if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? It's no. It's actually something very serious. It's a assault and battery case. Two sisters got in a fight over a very serious issue, I might add. The serious issue involved SA with the sister accusing the other sister's ex-husband of being the SAer. And that prompted or escalated or, was the driving factor for a divorce or separation of some sort, and also some animosity between the two sisters. And one came to the other's house and allegedly beat her up in 1 minute and 47 seconds and then left. And all we have is a couple of Ring door cam video, and then each sister telling their side and each one bringing a friend to tell their side. That's where we are. So this morning, to help soothe my throat because it was not feeling good, I drank 4 cups of hot chocolate. I'm feeling a little jittery now. Hot cocoa is my beverage of choice for good for sore throats. What are the results of the poll? We haven't finished it. It's still up. I'll close it out right now. We'll end the poll. Looks like, did the state prove their case against Rhonda? The winner is who cares, not a case for court at 63%. Close, a distant second is Rhonda should rethink her choices. Carolina Carlina was telling the truth was at 9%, and no, Rhonda is innocent 8% with 103 votes. So, was the essay investigated? I don't think so. Oh, we figured out how to embiggen. That's great. You're trying to map the movement of the phone on the screen.
Can you see the other one or just that one?
No.
How's that? Yes. Okay.
Okay. You've seen what you need to have seen. Maybe they can make a decision now. We're going to jump back to Judge Simpson while they continue deliberating.
The Mothers Against Drunk Driving class and the SoberLink listing, which we emailed to the court in this OR.
I need a snack. I need some sort of sustenance.
And did you want to say something to the court? She does want to say something to the court.
Yeah, I was wondering for the times that they were saying that I missed. I'm going through a lot right now.
I read the report. I'm not concerned.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure because I just went back to work and I work in the doctor's office. It's kind of hard to be going back. I can be I'm a surgical assistant. So if I'm in surgery and my alarm go off that I got to blow, once I get out of surgery, I might forget. It's just too much. If it was something different, I'd do. But
I'm in surgery.
That blow thing is, I got a lot going on with working in a doctor's office.
And you got a lot going on with your court case.
I just wanted to let you know that is, I'm going through a lot right now. I'm going to grieving too about my mom, with my insurance company, my medical insurance and everything. So there's a lot going on in my life right now. Besides all of this, there's a lot going on.
And how's your daughter doing in college?
She's doing great and she's loving it. And I'm really alone now because it was just me and my mom. So my mom gone, my daughter gone, so it's just me.
Yes, Teresa Clare on behalf of probation. Your Honor, I just wanted to let the court know that Ms. Miles Roberts was scheduled for sentencing earlier. My office had to bump that out because there was a possible restitution claim. So she kind of already has gone on the SoberLink for an extended period of time because I did have to adjourn that for a possible restitution issue. I never received any follow-up from what was initially sent. So therefore, there's no restitution recommended.
Got it.
Okay, but I just wanted the court to be aware that
That she was on it.
an extension of time because it had to be adjourned to hash out and see what was going on with restitution.
Got it. Court does acknowledge this is not a serious misdemeanor as defined by statute, however, believes there are reasonable grounds to depart from the presumption of a non-probationary sentence. The alcohol screening and assessment identifies the benefit of early intervention in educational programming, attendance at AA meetings, and abstinence from all intoxicants. The court will follow the recommendation of probation for a probationary sentence with the stated rehabilitative goals to promote change, prevent recidivism, and to monitor compliance with recommended treatment. So therefore, the sentence of the court, you're placed on probation for a period of 12 months. You are to pay $855 fines and costs, $100 prosecution recovery costs, $100 police agency recovery costs, and $360 probation oversight fees. You're to pay $120 today, and then a payment plan as arranged by probation. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
There should be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete the alcohol highway safety education program. You are to attend one AA meeting per week for a period of 6 weeks with verification to probation. You are to provide proof, and I think you have, of the victim's impact panel attendance to probation. How much longer was she on that sober link, Ms. Clara? Do you have a calculation of days?
Let me see.
A month.
So her original sentencing was,
July 8th.
yes, July 8th. And it was set for
Today. So it's been longer than the 30 days. All right. I will indicate that she moved from the sober link, so the sober link will be discontinued. She's already done what I would ask be done.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All order 93 days in jail. Credit 1, the balance is sustained. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. I hope you.
All right, I'm going to run and grab a snack, and we're going to do some reading. So I'm going to need to get some something to like
Perfect
maybe another
timing.
cup
We're
of
done
hot
with that
chocolate.
block.
Oh, great.
So actually, just but we got to go. Court stands in recess.
Court stands in recess. All right. Well, they're in recess. Let me do this. Actually, you thought they're in recess, but they're not. They're done. They're done with recess. The judge is going to be back in just a second. We've got a couple things to read. I'm looking for the Tyler Robinson motion. Somebody said they filed for to get rid of the death penalty off the case, and I'm not seeing it on the docket. So I'm not sure where you've heard that, or if it's just. If anyone's seen that, let me know. I'm showing documents filed up through yesterday. I don't see today's on there. The last I see is, let's see, on the 10th we had a UOVC restitution notice claim, and then yesterday we had a defendant Tyler Robinson preliminary hearing briefing. Is that it? The briefing? I'll buy it. I'll buy that for $1. Let's see what the briefing is. You say 41 pages. Well, let's see. It's 41 pages. I got it. So let's download this so I don't have to buy it again. I like to buy it one time. Okay, this posted yesterday, so we can tear into this. We can do some reading all afternoon if you'd like. My family's gone, so I've got nobody here to distract me. We're still in verdict watch. Judge is back from his break. Let me grab him real quick. And then I'll go get some snacks and a drink.
You even realize? I don't know what that's about.
No.
It's okay. I'm not hurt, but wow. Court calls the case. People versus Leslie Bryan.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, state your name for the record, please.
Brown.
Thank you.
So this is a show cause for money owed on an old case. Seeing as Mr. Brown is in custody, I'd ask for an adjournment.
You're brilliant. No, come there.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, when you said he's in custody, I said, oh, you're brilliant. No, I'm coming after the how much does he?
I have 440.
How long have you been in?
About 40 days.
Is there some of it? What do you have?
I'm here. I have a year sentence here. I've told you that. Well, I told my lawyer I had a year sentence here, so I'm gonna be here until April. I didn't procure the money when the last time I came. You told me to come and pay. I think like 100 or something. I didn't procure the funds before I came, so I didn't know I was not going to be able to pay the rest of it.
We're going to waive all the fines and costs except the statutory fees. You're all set. Good luck to you, young man. Court calls the case. People versus Michael Naparella.
Good morning, this is hearing on behalf of Mr. Navarala, who is in custody in the Ohio Department of Correction.
Your Honor, I can confirm that he is in custody in Ohio. Given that he's not present, I would ask the court to adjourn this out to September 23rd with a writ being done to the Ohio facility.
I'll adjourn this out to, you want the late September date or the October date?
The late September date, I think, would be sufficient.
September 23rd, 2026. Is that at noon or 9? 9 a.m. There was only one on, correct? Court calls case People versus Jason Haas.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Haas. State your name for the record, please, sir.
Jason Haas.
We did review the sentence recommendation in this case. We ask that you adopt it.
Sir, anything you want to tell the court before I impose sentence?
Just that I'm realize the wrong and working on myself. I'm gonna do better from now on.
Court acknowledges that this is not a serious misdemeanor as defined by statute. However, it does believe there are reasonable grounds to depart from the presumption of a non-probationary sentence. The alcohol screening and assessment identifies the benefit of outpatient treatment, attendance at AA meetings, and abstinence from all intoxicants. Therefore, the court will follow the recommendation of probation for a probationary sentence with the stated rehabilitative goals to promote change, prevent recidivism, and to monitor compliance of recommended treatment. Therefore, the sentence of the court, I would place you on probation for a period of 24 months. You are to pay $1,255 fines and court costs, $100 prosecution recovery costs, $100 police agency recovery costs, and $720 probation oversight fees. When do you think you can get that paid, sir?
Well, after this, I'm gonna go to another county. They want to give me a year.
Pardon?
I'm gonna go to Livingston County after this, and they want to give me a year cap for a UDAA. So I don't know how it's gonna work, sir.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. I'll just indicate that it's to be paid by December 31st, 2026, and then we'll figure out where you are. That point.
I'm just waiting for the kettle to finish.
There should be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal
start
substance. You will report to community corrections within 24 hours to begin weekly random testing. I'll do it this way. If he's going to Livingston, you have to report to community corrections within 24 hours of release.
From Livingston?
Right.
Yes, sir.
You're to complete outpatient substance abuse treatment, including all recommended aftercare with status reports to probation. You're to attend one AA meeting per week with verification to probation. Provide proof of victims impact panel attendance to probation. On order 365 days in jail. Credit 27. The balance on this case is suspended.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Oh, man, let's get this.
I'll watch the thing.
Court calls case, People versus Kimberly Bronson.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Miss Bronson, who's in custody at the Wayne County Jail.
And Teresa Flair on behalf of probation and Your Honor. I did confirm that Miss Bronson, she left our facility and was transferred over to Wayne. So she is there. Probation's asking for an adjournment or a writ in that case. Not opposed to September 20th or the 1st October date.
What I'll do is I'll then adjourn this matter to September 23rd, 2026, 9 a.m. What are you doing, Buckovich?
Wait for my case to be called.
No, I was asking, we missed you when we started. And we asked Miss Perrine where you were. And oh my God, her response. I'll let her tell you. She should tell on herself. It was very non-Perrine. Court calls the case, People versus Theory Reynolds.
Good. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Reynolds, who is approaching. State your name for the record when you get to the podium, please, sir.
Theory Reynolds. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Your Honor, Mr. Reynolds is also in custody. This is a show cause for money owed. I'd ask for an adjournment of the show cause.
It's the
How long have you been?
110 owed. How long what are you in for?
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Stop you, I guess. Go ahead.
So I was in here last year from August until November.
You were in custody, you mean?
Yeah, from August to November I got released, but I had seen you for this apparently, and I was wondering, like, at some point will I be able to like move for like a time served or something? I don't know how much is charged carry or what, but I really don't have no money.
Okay, I know. So how long are you in for right now? What are you in for?
I got a couple charges I'm in for right. Felony.
Well, I know that, but
When did you come to custody?
Small stuff.
The
5th of this month?
5th
of August.
Are you under sentence on any case?
No, sir.
So you have that case that's with me tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's it? That's all you have right now?
Yes, sir.
You still have it up. What's his bond?
My bond on the case tomorrow, Your Honor, excuse me.
Yeah.
$1 million.
It's $1 million?
Yes, sir.
In this case is driving while unlicensed, which apparently people do.
Way to be.
So no.
It was out loud. Somebody.
No, I don't even want to know. Just here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to waive all the fines and costs except the statutory fees, and that way you're done with this.
Your Honor, excuse me. Thank you first and foremost. You're welcome. What the statutory fee is?
I think it's going to be 125. It's going to be 125, but counsel could explain to you about that.
Okay.
Okay. Just
read back up.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate.
You're welcome.
Sorry for speaking too much.
What?
Sorry for speaking too much.
No, you're good. Just don't do that tomorrow.
Oh, man.
All right. Take care. Court calls the case. People versus Devontae Johnson. 2 cases.
Assistant
I
Vice
don't know what
President
that
Nicholas
guy did,
Buckingham on behalf of
what
Mr.
he's
Johnson.
charged with.
Welcome back.
But it's bad if the
All right.
Claire,
$1
on
million
behalf of
involves
probation,
kids.
Your Honor, Mr. Johnson, I have confirmed is in the Allen County Jail. So therefore, I'm asking for an adjournment with a writ to be issued, and September 23rd would be fine with that as well.
I'll adjourn. These are 2 matters, correct?
Yeah.
September 23rd, 2026, 9 a.m.
Here's what we're going to do. I am going to
Court calls case. People versus Trayvon G.
skip lunch. I was hoping to have a verdict,
Good morning. This is
but we just don't have a verdict yet.
on behalf of G.
Sir, state your name.
Trayvon G.
Thank you.
Teresa Claire on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Mr. G is before the court for a review hearing on a prosecutor deferred sentence. Mr. G has completed all terms excepting he has a balance of the $435. Given that he is compliant in all other matters, probation is recommending that the court give an extension of the prosecutor deferred sentence for a period of 3 months, that Mr. G make a payment of $145 beginning on September 1st, 2026, and then $145 per month thereafter, that he continue with all other terms as previously ordered, with the review hearing being set November 16th, 2026 at 9 a.m.
I have no objection. I wasn't able to speak with Mr. G, so I'm not here with any objection, but I think it's a reasonable recommendation.
Okay. Mr. G, you heard all that?
Yes, I did.
You think you can do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you'll be able to pay $145 each month beginning the 1st of September?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Let's try to get you through this. So I will extend the prosecutor's deferred sentence for a period of 3 months. He's to pay $145 per month beginning September 1st, 2026. Continue all other previous terms as ordered. I'll set a next review hearing for November 16th, 2026, 9 a.m. All right?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
Court calls case. People versus Tyler Meddy.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender appearing on behalf of Mr. Meddy. Your Honor, Mr. Meddy will not be present. I did speak with him this morning that he was on his way to work and had to be at work at 9:30. While at not be on his phone, so he can't come on. He did want me to request an adjournment. He said he just got this new job. Worked on I think it's Lombardi's Food, driving a forklift. So it's a good job. He really couldn't afford to move at this point, so he was behind on his rent. He did say that he would be able to pay off the rent in about a week or 2.
Will that pay everything?
No, there's other costs.
Got it.
About $400. He said he could make about a $500 payment in the next couple of weeks.
All right, so here's what I'll do. I'll order that he pay $500 by I'll just make it the end of this month, by October 31st. August 31st, 2026. All right. Then did he indicate to you what he could pay per month or anything like that, or no?
He didn't, Your Honor, but he did say he back to work, and it seems to be caught up on his bills.
Right. Okay. So then he's to pay that by that date. I'll adjourn this matter out to October 14th, 2026, 9 a.m. Okay. Court calls case. People versus.
Still out, and the judge is just chilling like that.
Joker?
So I was
Hello.
hoping to get a verdict really quickly. Let's
Oh,
Your Honor, Ms. Stoker is before the court for a review hearing on a prosecuted deferred sentence. Ms. Stoker has completed the programming component. She still has the balance of $390. Was speaking with Ms. Stoker, she had changed jobs. So there were some financial issues. She is working and is steady now. Probation at this point is asking, given that she's compliant with reporting and the programming, that the court extend this prosecutor deferred sentence for 3 months to allow her to complete it successfully. Probation's also asking that she make a $90 payment on or before today. Ms. Stoker, did you make that payment?
I'm gonna do it today.
And then $100 per month thereafter, that all other conditions continue, with the final review hearing being set November 16th, 2026 at 9 a.m.
I have no objections to that, Your Honor. Ms. Stoker indicated she could make the payment. Any objections to any of that, Ms. Stoker?
No.
All right. So you'll be able to make the $90 payment today, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what I'll do. I'll extend your prosecutor deferred sentence for a period of 3 months. Pay the $90 today, and then you're going to pay $100 per month beginning in September. Continue all other terms as previously ordered. I'll set a next review hearing for November 16th, 2026, 9 a.m. All right. Thank you, Ms. Stoker.
Thanks.
Courthouse case, People versus Brandon. Here yet. Koza? Here you, Koza. Oh boy. Here we go. Oh, everybody
Nailed it first try, Judge. Good job.
All right. She was here. I didn't know she was even going to get to talk today, but now she's going to talk.
Hold on, there's that. Honor, Mr. Sewell and Mr. Kirkoza is before the court for a review hearing on the prosecutor's verdict. He completed all terms in the decree and probation.
Yeah. Buckervich. Did you know she's a USC Trojan?
No, I didn't know that.
Didn't know that? We don't like them, do we?
We don't.
I'm neutral.
Okay. So ordered, Judge. Thank you. Wow. I'm getting no help over it. Court calls the case, People versus Nicholas Stemmel. Oh, she's up again.
Honor, Mr. Sewell is just before the court for a review hearing on the prosecutor's sentence. He's completed all terms and the defense has been waived.
And she's gone. All right. Looks like we're just on verdict watch now. I was hoping to have this done so we can just go to lunch and then come back. I'm not going to skip lunch. I'm just going to go straight into reading. But we've got a couple things to go over. Let me just tease a little bit. The Slavin is a judge, attorney. I don't know who it is, but there's a reprimand when an officer of the court does wrong, and there's a lot of wrong. This is how it's fixed, and it's a reprimand. We've got that document. We also have the 41-page complaining session that the Tyler Robinson's defense filed yesterday, and we're going to go over that as well. They want the death penalty thrown out, and they are listing all their reasons. There are a lot of them. We're going to cover that entire thing today. I think that's going to be our afternoon. That will cover everything. So I'm not sure if we're going to save former Judge Slavin's document for another day, like tomorrow, or because it happened a long time ago. Or I think we will. We'll save it till tomorrow. We're going to cover just Tyler Robinson, 41 pages of it. I've got my hot chocolate, a double hot chocolate. It's absolutely. Is tepid? Is tepid the word? It's too hot. It's too hot, whatever it is. So Have to wait for it to cool down, which it won't do because it's in a vacuum Stanley. So, all right, we just need a verdict, and then we can do it. I'm building the portal. We're going to portal to it because we keep all the Tyler Robinson stuff in its own little folder, but we're not going to take a break. So no breaks for you. I think we're going to start at 1. I think we'll be done in 18 minutes, right? Jury can sort this out in 18 minutes. It's a fight between sisters. I mean, it should have been. If Nestor wrote it, then it'll be a doozy. Oh, yeah. It's a doozy. Fun fact. There's a girl I follow on Facebook that's local in my community here. She's actually a realtor in Greenville. So she sells houses. And she's on social media, and she does these little quick videos where she's advertising houses that she's listed or that are for sale or on the market. You know, she wants to earn your business. And she's cute, and she's, you know, got a good presentation type thing online. But the thing that drew me to her is she starts her video with saying, "What up, fools?" And I just thought that was funny because she's calling everyone a fool. But at the same time, I don't feel like insulted by it. Well, she's continued. She's gone not like viral, but she's sort of well known around the area now. And she's done all sorts of spotlights on businesses, and she's got a podcast, and it looks like she's ramping up for like a commissioner's run, like a political office run or mayor or something like that. And she was talking the other day, and she's always talking about, oh, what this development, and we should try to get a Costco in here, and we should, you know, this is where the road should be, and always this development and housing. That's her lane. The other day, she's like, hey, here's the situation. We've got the Greenville police dog situation, which we covered. And she says, let me tell you about the Lindsay Clancy trial, and which we're not covering. It's like, hang on. Now she's got into true crime, which is funny. It was just that she was covering the stories. But her name's Emily Daniels, and she's doing a great job. Hope to one day we'll probably cross paths a little bit, but it was funny to see her suddenly in the true crime world. Let's see. Nothing from the judge yet. Thurston's on their domestic violence calendar. Judge Raquel West was live earlier this morning, as was Judge Simpson. I see.
Take a short break.
I see Webster is up right now with what is that? Traffic. Webster is in traffic right now with data.
She did it. She did it. Good job. Okay, Miss Williams, we're here in 2026 TR 585, State of Kansas versus Lisa Ann Williams. Prosecutor Jared Regier is here for the state. Miss Williams' defendant is here in person and pro se on one count. The state's alleging that on February 20th of 2026, you drove in Butler County a vehicle that did not have legal registration or had an expired tag. You can hire an attorney to represent you on this, but I cannot appoint one. How do you want to proceed on this? Do you want to hire an attorney or represent yourself, Ms. Williams?
I will represent myself.
Okay, you want to waive your right to an attorney knowing that you can hire one?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll have the record reflect both in docket notes and journal entry that you're waiving your right to counsel. Do you want to plead not guilty and set this for trial, plead guilty and proceed to sentencing, plead no contest, which is neither an admission or a denial, but you'd still be found guilty and proceed to sentencing?
Sean's having a hard time with this.
Or do you want some time to look into the county attorney's diversion program and maybe get the county attorney to dismiss it?
I would like to plead guilty, Your Honor.
By pleading guilty, you want to admit that you were driving
You're throwing yourself on the mercy of the court.
Registration or expired tag on February 20th of 25?
Correct.
And that was here in Boston?
It was expired. No excuses.
It expired, okay. Is anyone making you waive your right to trial and enter this plea today?
No.
This is when Mr. Aguirre throws the book
You
at her.
understand you are giving up your right to trial and you won't get that back?
Yes, ma'am.
And that you won't be able to appeal your conviction with this plea?
Correct.
All right, I find that you've knowingly and voluntarily waived your right to attorney, that you've knowingly and voluntarily entered a plea of guilty. I find you guilty. Recommendations for sentencing, Mr. Regier?
Yes, Your Honor, no objection to the court following the Chief Judge's administrative order, given if the court finds it is appropriate in this matter.
I will.
Leniency
Ms.
for Mr.
Williams, at this
Aguirre?
time, your fine is $92. Your court costs are $108. Total due $200. How much time do you need to pay that?
I can pay it now.
Okay,
No,
I'm
you
gonna give
can't. You
you
have to
30
wait.
days to pay, but if you can pay it now, you do so. Call the clerk of the district court. Do you have a pencil for their number?
Is it 322-4370?
Call them and they'll explain about payment. And I'm not going to give you any jail sentence pursuant to the local court order. If you take care of that, this case is done. If you don't take care of it, your license will be suspended. So make sure you get it paid.
I will. Thank you, ma'am.
No
You're
jail
welcome.
time.
You may go, Miss Williams.
Mr. Aguirre lets one get away.
And then let's see. I still
Oh,
have
what are we
someone on
looking
here.
at here?
Mr. Fundenberger has shown up.
Part of him has his feet now. Just sit down. I don't care if you're sideways.
Earlier,
Just
you
hold
weren't
still.
here. We're on the record in BU 2026 TR 1245, State of Kansas versus Sean Nicholas Fundenberger. Jared Regier for the state. Mr. Fundenberger, are you here now?
Actually, it's Joseph Vaca for the state.
There. Yeah, I'm here.
All right, sir. Thank you.
I'm in the garage with
I
the
was on as a phone name earlier.
with the offending vehicle.
All right, sir. You are charged in count 1 with violation of restrictions on your driver's license or permit. This is an unclassified misdemeanor. In count 2, you're accused of operating a motor vehicle without registration or with expired tag, also an unclassified misdemeanor. The penalty for that charge is
There's also the camera abuse one, Judge.
under local rule, it is $92 and 108 court costs.
That's an even 200.
On the violation of restrictions,
Let you know we're still keeping an eye
Mr.
on the
Aguirre,
other
is
court.
that one of those where, as an unclassified non-person misdemeanor, the penalties are still up to $2,500 in fines and 30 days to 6 months under the traffic code, or is that one of those where it's maximum 30 days and $500?
Your Honor, I'm on this one, just to inform the court, and in looking at the statute, upon a first conviction, it is stating that it's a fine not to exceed $250. However, $250. However, the court also has to suspend driving privileges upon a conviction for at least 30 days, but not more than 2 years.
Okay. All right. So those are your penalties. Mr. Fundenberger, you can hire an attorney. I cannot appoint one because the penalties aren't significant enough, but you can hire an attorney or you can even look into diversion. Are you a CDL holder?
No, ma'am.
All right. You want to look into diversion and see if you can get the state to dismiss these charges?
I don't live in Kansas. I was actually there visiting, dropping off and as soon as I can get to my information here.
He sounds like he's in deep space.
I'm gonna have to plead. I don't know when the driving on restriction was brought into this. It must have been after my. I do believe I missed a court date because I was contacting Augusta I was not aware it was in El Dorado. Augusta had told me that they didn't have record of it, so I just kind of left it at that. Well, then I was contacted through my mailing address in Kansas that you guys were going to issue a warrant, so I called because I'm trying to get the matter taken care of. I don't hold a Kansas driver's license, but I don't know when in the case that actually became a charge. Let me see here. Sorry about that.
Well,
Hello?
your citation suggests you live in Lyons, Kansas. Is that not
No,
correct?
that is a mailing address in Kansas.
So
My
you
address
don't,
is 411
don't say
County.
that, sir, don't say it over the internet.
Oh, okay.
I will tell you, sir, that you have a very limited window of time to make your driver's license reflect your true address. If you
Yes,
don't live in Kansas, I don't think you can have a valid Kansas license.
I don't have a valid Kansas license. I don't hold.
Kansas thinks you do. You haven't apparently surrendered one.
Yes, I have. I actually had to have a breathalyzer installed in my vehicle in Texas in order to get my Texas driver's license. And that was a requirement of the state of Kansas.
Well, and you're not supposed to have licenses in two states at once, and you say you don't.
My license was taken by the officer that arrested me in Kansas.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to have two at the same time. All right,
I don't-
sir, do you want to talk to an attorney? It sounds like you've got a number of legal matters going on that it might be.
Well, I mean, my first question is, when did the restriction become a matter in a no safety glasses that turned into a no registration? Because it wasn't my vehicle that I was transporting.
All right, well, let me just tell you first of all that when the citation
Don't
was
put a
issued
diplomatic
September
plate on it.
15th of 2025
Yes, ma'am.
at
I'm trying to have court. Don't raise your voice again.
45 minutes after midnight, you were allegedly stopped on Southwest Scare Road and Southwest 100th Street.
Yes.
And you were given a ticket for violation of driving while suspended, 8-262, and a violation of 8-142. What is that charge, Mr. Baca? 142 is.
On the original citation.
Your Honor,
Hold on.
that's the registration. However, there is an information that was filed, but 142 is the expired tag registration.
Okay. And then, so that's what the officer originally sentenced you to, or charged you with.
Yes,
but then he turned it over to the clerk and to the county attorney, and the county attorney filed what's called an information. They charged a formal document, and they charged both violation of restrictions and operating with an expired tag. So your ticket does show both charges. You just didn't spell out the one, perhaps.
There was only one on the original citation, and that was the non-registration of a vehicle. That was the original charge. And then, like I say, I missed court because I was contacting the wrong court. I didn't have the ticket on me. I travel. I don't live in Kansas. I don't plan on living in Kansas. I travel for work. So I was delivering a motor scooter from Texas to my cousin who moved to Kansas.
Okay, look at your look at your citation again, because if yours doesn't say the same mine does, the officers added something to it. Mine, it looks like the original citation, the original handwriting appears to be the same. Under violations, do you have your ticket with you?
No, ma'am. It's in Augusta.
Well, you better look at it, because the citation I'm looking at says driving W/ I can't read it, but it's something or other. SUS or SUB. It looks like it's okay. Driving with suspended / cancel is what I think he's cancel, suspended, or revoked. That's what
Yes, in
driving,
the
that's
state
what
of Kansas, it is.
driving while suspended, canceled, or revoked. Statute 8-262 misdemeanor. Right underneath of the driving is expired registration 8-142 misdemeanor. Now, those are the two charges. Are you saying your ticket didn't have two charges on it?
Ma'am, okay, here's what I'm stating. I'm going to plead not guilty, but if the court will give me a chance to request some information from you guys, because I don't know where the restriction comes from. If it comes from child support, I'm the receiver of child support, not the payee. So,
Well, I don't know anything about why it's suspended. The ticket doesn't say that. It just says you're suspended.
okay, and I was never informed of that because I hold a Texas driver's license. The state of Kansas required me to have an interlock in order to get that Texas driver's license. So there was no two driver's licenses. That I don't know where that's coming into this at. But I'm gonna have to request that the court give me any information which shows that I am restricted.
Well, the court doesn't give what you just asked for, but you can have your attorney file a motion for discovery and get that information from the state. If you're not going to have an attorney, you're going to need to know how to do that on your own.
Well, yeah, I can take care of all of that, but I'm gonna just have to plead not guilty on both charges because
All right, not guilty. I'll set this for bench trial. What date do you have, please, Jenna?
I have September 16th.
You must be back here. You can do this by Zoom, September 16th at 1:30. The state will be required to present their evidence. The burden is on them to find you guilty. And if they cannot prove that you were suspended, then you'll be found not guilty. If they prove you were suspended, you'll probably be found guilty.
yes. So when I travel back to Kansas is when it becomes an issue?
No, the states usually give full force and credit to each other's suspensions. If you're not suspended in one state, the other state won't call you suspended. If you're suspended in Kansas, Texas will probably find you driving while suspended. If you're suspended in Texas and driving in Kansas, Kansas will probably file you. But I'm not your attorney. I'm giving you more representation than you need.
Understood. Understood. I'll have the proper paperwork filed today. So on all my motions, none of them will be heard until the 16th of September.
Right. Correct.
Okay.
But make sure you send a copy of those motions to the county attorney. They'll have time to respond. Understand that you can hire an attorney anytime you want and your attorney can represent you. But if you're going to insist on representing yourself, you're held to the same standards and knowledge as the attorney would be.
Yes, ma'am. And I have access to any information that I need. And so I will just see you guys on the 16th.
All right. Anything further for the state, Mr. Baca?
Don't believe there's anything further for the state, Your Honor.
All right, then, Mr. Fundam.
And so am I on bond or how is this?
Doesn't look like you made bond. Looks like you appeared on summons. You've got unclassified misdemeanors. I don't think bond is necessary. But if you fail to come to court, I can always issue a warrant for failure to come to court because it is a court order.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I just want to make it clear to the state and to you that the mailing address in Kansas is my mailing address. My physical address, as far as that goes, is in
All right.
Texas.
Well, if you want to call the clerk.
Well, I travel.
If you want to call the clerk of the court and give them your physical address in Texas, You can do so. If you want to call the county attorney or email the county attorney, you can do that. What is your legal?
Well, yeah, and that information
What
is on
is,
that information.
what is your legal address? Is it the one where you, in Texas, you say you physically live and reside in Texas? You just haven't.
Yes, that is my intent. That is my intent, but I'm in the middle of a divorce,
Oh, okay.
so it's kind of it's
I see.
wishy-washy through the whole
Okay,
thing.
so you're prior to the divorce action, you lived in Kansas?
No, for 8 years I've been in Texas.
But you're still using a Kansas driver's license address?
No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Right, 'cause
I
that's not
use
legal.
a Kansas mailing address. How is that not legal, ma'am?
Well, you have 10 days, as I recall it is, to change your driver's license when you move under Kansas law, to change the address on your driver's license.
Under Kansas law, but I'm not moving to Kansas.
But you have a Kansas driver's license, and then that's what I'm talking about.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, I do not.
All right. Well, we will take that all up at your trial.
That should be a doozy. We might need to schedule this one.
But
trial or
the next appearance is a trial. I didn't say anything about pretrial.
Okay. Okay.
Well, the citation says that on September 15th of 25, your address was 803 in Lyons, Kansas.
Yes, ma'am, and that has been my mailing address my whole life. Because I'm never in one place. I mean, Texas was the longest I've been somewhere. Other than that, I travel.
Well, we'll take that all up at the next court date.
Yes, because I need an address that people can get a hold of me at. That is the address I use. They contact me wherever I am, and I take care of it, just like I did the summons.
Well, you might want to double check what the driver's license statute says about such things to make sure you're not in violation.
Yeah, I haven't been in Kansas in 8 years. I haven't held a driver's license in Kansas since 2010.
All right.
When I got the original charge, which was DUI.
All right.
All right. You just want
Anything further, Mr. Baca?
Don't believe there's anything further on this matter for the state, Your Honor.
All right. We'll be in recess on Fundenberger. Mr. Fundenberger is excused from these proceedings.
Oh, one more time, could you clarify the date? September?
Jenna, would you give that to him again?
She's done.
Please.
Yes, Your Honor. I have September 16th, 1:30 in the afternoon.
September 16th at 1:30.
1:30 in the afternoon. And you just want me to log on about 30 minutes before?
Oh, 30 minutes is more than enough.
Okay. Awesome. I will see you ladies there.
I'll see you ladies.
And Mr. Baca, thank you.
Mr. Baca.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Fundenberg may leave the proceedings, and Jenna, is that the conclusion of this docket?
I have Bar
Judge says,
Ditto.
Please, can we be done?
You know what, I have that too. We haven't called that, have we?
No.
We missed that. Double check my notes. Do you still have that, Mr. Baca?
Judge, my notes indicate it was canceled. The note I have, there is a bond request form
Sean's still
I'm
here.
supposed to look at.
He's got another question.
It looks
He's
like
not
there was a
leaving
warrant, an arrest warrant issued, Your Honor, but we reached out to the county attorneys to see if we need to cancel anything prior to your docket, and we weren't notified, so we left it. And that's why it's on our docket.
We are on the record in BU 2023 TR 1556, State of Kansas versus Bard Elliott Ditto. Joseph Baca for the state.
Sean's not leaving.
Bard Ditto failing to appear. Summons went out August 12th of 2026. There was an arrest warrant that went out July 6th of 26.
We don't normally follow divorce cases,
With
but
an
Sean's
OR
might be one we
bond.
make an exception for. I imagine he has all the arguments to make.
alias, I think that's because the alias summons was not, we had an alias summons, a summons and an alias go out, and it looks like we couldn't get service, so the warrant went out. So I think we're just waiting for the defendant to be, yeah, that needs just removed from the docket, right, Mr. Baca?
I think that's correct, Your Honor. Yeah.
Okay. So Mr. Bard just needs to bring himself in on that and post an OR bond and go on his way until the next court date. All right.
That's all I got.
Okay.
And I apologize, Your Honor. I had just one more. I'm not sure we took up.
Who do you have?
The Hernandez Lerma.
Does Sean not know he's still
Can I
here?
have a case number on that, Baca?
26 TR 362.
He just goes by Baca. They're on a last name basis.
I have that hearings this afternoon at 1:30.
All right, we're gonna bail.
Okay, yeah.
That's interpreter docket.
Huh. Well,
Boy,
then
your
it
mic
looks like
sounds
just my
fabulous.
note had it on the wrong docket. Perfect.
All right.
All right. Well, that's why we check in with each other here to get them all figured out. So if that's the end of this docket, we will be adjourned until 1:30 on the next docket. Thank you all for your time.
Thank
you. Mr. Fundenberg comes on. One more question, Your Honor. One more question. All right, we're going to go to lunch and portal immediately over to. Let's see, we're starting at 1:10, so that's right in 2 minutes. Something went wrong. Why did it go wrong? What? Wait for the buffer. Wait for the buffer. Why? What's happening? I don't see a verdict yet. Do I have to plug in my phone for this buffer? How long has our jury in sister case been out? That has been out for... Hold, please. I have to go over here and switch things around. An hour and 42 minutes. It's a long time to debate this issue. The eclipse has started in Iceland. Amber has a message for you. Am I supposed to read it, or is she going to call? Read your chat. It's right there. Wait, but how long is the break for? You're not going anywhere, right? You're going to stay home and stay live. Yeah, 2 minutes is what I said. Starts in 2 minutes. 1:42. Okay. I'm sorry, I thought I addressed that. I didn't realize that was the question. That's what I was literally talking about when I got the buffer. Is that cool? That works. All right. It didn't create my new ones. We've got to make a new one. Create new. Tyler Robinson's attorneys wants the death penalty thrown out. There we go. That's our title. Let me go ahead and put that together with all the rules and regulations that go along with it. This goes in the Tyler Robinson playlist. See, I do that myself, Amber. And downloads. Users, me. Robinson. Oh man, I need to change it. The thumbnail's not ready. Hang on. It's okay. We'll just chill and watch this court for a second, even though there's no audio. Tyler. Where'd you go, Tyler? That's not it. Oh, I'm on Red Pen's account. That's why. Hang on one second. Switch. I'm excited to read this document this afternoon. It's a juicy one. I'm going to delete that. Hold, please. Okay. Thumbnail's done. All right. How juicy is it? 41 pages of juice. That's a lot of juice in this one. Okay, we're going to start now at 1:15 because I need 2 minutes to turn off the stream and start it again. Make sure it works. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're gonna have to have somebody keep an eye on this the Simmons courtroom up in Michigan because they're taking their sweet time. The jury is on this one, which is not what we wanted, but that's what we're getting. So we're gonna keep an eye on that and watch for the verdict, which we'd love to have today. We'll probably interrupt the Tyler Robinson stuff with that. Thanks, Red. Appreciate that. Thanks for the 235 likes. That's awesome. We're going to... Hang on. We might not be able to portal. It won't let me create a live stream. Can't portal, we're in trouble. Hold please. Manual, visibility, 115, details, switch, change. Next, done. YouTube made all these enhancements. Okay, it worked. It worked that time. All right, tonight I'm going to go home. Please hug the people you love. Smile. Someone make their day just a little bit better. And please stay safe too. We'll go live again in about 2 minutes or 1 minute now with the Tyler Robinson stuff. And we're going to portal you right over there. So hold on tight. We'll be there in just a second. All right. Bye-bye.